Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
What's up, dirty dog?
What up, everybody? Perfect timing. Look at them. They just put it on. Here we go.
Los Angeles City Council's regularly scheduled meeting for Tuesday, the 8th day of April in the year 2025. My name is Marquise Harris Dawson.
Oh,
Serving President of this council. Public comment will be taken in
What's
person
up,
for this morning's
What's up, Angela?
meetings. Mr. Clerk, can we begin our proceedings by calling the roll?
Bloomfield, Harris, Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Gerardo, Lee, McGoster, Nazarian, Padilla,
Hi, BJ.
Park, Price, Rahman,
What's up,
Rodriguez, Soto
Dirtman?
Martinez, Yaroslavsky.
Happy Tuesday,
11 members
BJ.
present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of April 4th, 2025.
Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Hurtado seconds. What's next?
What's up,
Commendatory
Patriot?
resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Price
Amy?
moves. Councilmember Kosker
Luna?
seconds. What's next?
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
All right, we'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise and join Councilmember Nazarian of the 2nd District in the recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Boy, it's pretty empty in there, so that means we shouldn't have
Your right
too
hand
many.
over your heart.
any,
I pledge allegiance to the
presentations.
flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all. I like how you emphasize that. All
I
American
never knew there was
citizens.
a rhythm to
Hopefully you met. Hopefully that's what you meant.
Pledge of Allegiance. All right, what's next, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, there is a request to hold
What's up, Tom?
item number 7 on the desk, and I will run through the
Morning,
agenda.
Terry.
All
Items
right.
1 through 6 are items noticed
Yeah,
for
Stinks
public
is in
hearing.
his food
Items
coma. He
7
just had a
through
can
14
and he's
are
ready
items
to
for
go.
which public hearings have been held. Items 15 through 19 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Items 20 through 26 are closed session items considered by the Budget and Finance Committee.
You big baby. It's just a zipper. Zipper woke you up? You was all asleep and the zipper woke you up?
Okay. All right.
It's a whole new sound you
I'm
never
sorry.
heard?
What's next, Mr. Clerk?
What's up, Miss
you-
FTS?
The Council President can call on council for any
Let
specials.
me ask you guys
All right.
something.
Specials members, to my right, the east side of the chamber, Councilmember Price.
Mr. President, I'm recusing myself from item 8 because my wife's employer has worked with applicants on this item.
All right. Any others? Councilmember Rodriguez.
Yes, there's an amendment for item 7 that's being circulated.
All right. The amendment has been seconded and is being circulated for item number 7. All right. Any others to my right?
Sound like
Councilmember
Kylo Ren in my
Rahman.
mind. I don't know
I'd
about
like
you
to call
guys.
item 7 special for comments.
All right. All right. Any others to my right? Seeing none, to my left, the west side of the chamber. All right. Seeing none, what items
Of
are
course, Grady had to
available for
recuse
us to vote on
himself.
this
Doesn't he
morning?
always?
Mr. President, because item number 11 is an ordinance and requires 12 votes.
I'm guessing it doesn't sound like
We'll hold
Kylo
that
Ren.
one.
But in my
Yes,
ear,
we'll
it
hold
does.
that
I don't
on
know
the
why.
desk. Before council, the council may now vote on items 9,
Not yet.
10,
Is that a
12
stay
through
of
14.
execution, Cubby?
All right.
I mean,
Let's open the roll on these items.
Salty, sorry.
Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
Eating an apple. I had an apple yesterday.
Ayes.
I bought too many. I didn't want them to go bad. I bought them for the apple bongs.
All right. What's next?
So I used 2 for apples and ate 2.
Mr.
Still
President,
got
the
one
council
more
may
left.
now take up the closed session items that were considered by the Budget and Finance Committee.
All right. I think we need to come back to those when we have a budget chair present. What's next?
I use this time to
The
eat.
council may now move on to public comment.
All right, everybody.
All right. Let's prepare the room for public comment.
Boy, public comment, this has to be the fastest. We're talking 4 minutes and 38 seconds in, and we're already at public comment. Holy smokes. Sheesh. You know, this is how it should be every day.
Public comment, when it is your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get 1 brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 6 and items 15 through 19. So again, the items open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 6 and items 15 through 19. A couple more announcements. If I can have the interpreters please make this aloud to the room. If you require a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
Si usted requiere un intérprete en español, por favor pause cada oración, cada frase para que el intérprete pueda traducir.
Don't worry, we will hold your time so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else.
No se preocupe, vamos a mantener su tiempo de tal manera que el tiempo de traducción va a ser el mismo que el tiempo de los demás.
Thank you. And
Gracias.
one final announcement for the room. You do not need to line up in the order in which you hear your name called, but please do wait until you hear your name called. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we go forward, Mr. Clerk, we've got 12 members, so I'm wondering if both the amended motion and the other ordinance can be heard at this time?
And then...
The council can take up item 11, the ordinance, but for the amendment,
Yeah, I don't
do
see
not
any of the
have a
regulars. I don't
copy in
know.
front of me.
All right, so that has not been distributed
Maybe
yet.
they're
All
at
right, so
the
let's take
police
up that
commission
item.
meeting. I don't know.
Item 11.
All right, item 11 is now before us. Let's open the roll,
What's up, Eduardo?
close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Terry? Might be the fastest meeting we
All right.
ever had. 20 minutes in and out.
And
I see
we
back
still
there.
need to
He's
wait
there.
for the amendment, so we'll go on with public comment.
Under over 7 for Under over 7.
I will now call names
Under
to stand
over.
and speak. Andrew Gravener,
There he is.
Stacy Segarra, Megan Pete, Marachoy Park, Ron Harbor,
Get it in. Under over 7. Hurry. He's coming up. Up there's 3-inch shrimp. Oh, he's coming in hot too, guys. I feel like he's going to go over 7.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Isabel proved earlier that you can read the name items off your screen, Marquise, and tell me which items I signed up for.
So again, which items would you like to speak to?
Which items did I submit on the kiosk, Marquise?
Okay, I'm going to
This
start
is
your time
page
now.
on.
You can have general public comment, or you can tell me which items would you like to
All
speak to.
items in general public
So you have
comment.
3 minutes for the
Do
items
your
and
fucking
1
job,
minute for general
Marquise.
public comment.
This-
And again,
Mr. Gabriel, I just want to let you know, this is Councilmember Harris Dawson talking to you. The items you signed up for are not on my screen, so I can't help you with that. You need to do the work to
Yes, they
remember
are.
when you come up to the desk.
Even
so you have
Nuri
3
got them
minutes
off
for
her
the
screen.
items and 1 minute for
Come
general public
on.
comment.
Even
Go
she
ahead.
could do it. So we have item 16, which is community services in CD12. So let's see. So what are these community services? It doesn't say what the community services are. You know,
Sounds
you can
about right.
you can figure out what, you know, you can figure out what these community services are and let us know what they are. And then when you have that information, you can give it to us and then reschedule this item so that we can comment on the actual community services and not just the mysterious shit going on. Given its staffer be probably LAPD funding. So we have item 18, which is related to supplemental security services or something in various council districts. What are these security services being provided to do? I mean, it doesn't say what the security services
Been
are.
practicing?
And it seems, I mean, is it harassing unhoused people? Is it, you know, just basically off-duty cops being cops while off-duty? I mean, you know, we should figure that kind of stuff out. So we have item 19, which is related to sexual exploitation of children, things like that. We should also investigate the LAPD officers who are complicit, who are guilty of sexually exploiting children. And I mean, we've got LAPD officers on the city council detail who advocate for child abuse. I mean, you know, and we've got, you know, there's all kinds of reports of LAPD officers doing these kinds of stuff. So we should launch some investigations into that kind of stuff so that we can figure out what's going on. Okay, and then let's go to general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So once again, most of the council isn't here. Most of the council isn't paying attention. as usual, Adrian's got his staffers. He's always late. He's never mentally present at any meeting he's at. Always laughing it up with the staffers. Well, most of you are playing on your computers. We've got Tracy and Curran over there just laughing it up. We've got, all that kinds of stuff. So when is call and comment? Why was call and comment ever removed to begin with? We should have call and comment at these meetings so that people can give more public comment on their,
Because of smoking
if people can't come here, they can call in to give comment. I think I don't like hearing the hate speech, but I'm a little worried you're going to use this to expand to ban like criticism of Israel, things like that. So, yeah. You can get your items. I'll call you.
There's two. Unders win.
I'd like to call up
Hell yeah, golf for good. He's creepy as fuck.
Shelly Muskiewicz, Ying Chun Ip, Bang Cho Yu, Mike Hawk, Audit LA, Harriet Elliott.
Laser Lady. Audit LA, Laser Lady, and Mike
Which items
Hawk.
would you like to speak to?
All items in general comment.
Mike Hawk's
So you have
there.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you. Item 15 is relative to funding to support the South Los Angeles Wetlands Improvement Project. It's always a good idea to fund and
That's
augment
Stacy?
programs that support our wildlife and our ecosystems. I know LA is by and large an urban area, but our survival depends on a very delicate ecosystem balance. They seem insignificant, but the insects, the birds, they all have an effect on our livelihood. So thank you for supporting wetlands. I'd appreciate it if the council members engaged in conversation right now would pay attention. Thank you, Adrin. Item 16 supports community programs and groups in Council District 12. This is really vague. It's an appropriation for $60,000. The concept of community programs and groups is a good one, but it would be nice if we had more specificity on motions like this so we could keep better track of where our money is going. I think there's been a lot of information recently brought to light that the city and county organizations do a terrible job at keeping track of where funding goes. So if we would make more specific motions about this type of funding, that would be super helpful. Item 17 relates to supporting the elderly. It's relating to funds for other aging grants, miscellaneous programs, modernizing the quote-unquote Older Californians Act. Senior citizens is the fastest growing demographic of unhoused residents, and the biggest thing we could do to support our elderly, our most esteemed citizens, would be to make their housing affordable, to ban landlords from price gouging them. My neighbor's on Social Security. She has a fixed income, but every year her rent-controlled apartment still goes up by 4%, and she's really struggling. So this is a good goal, but it really falls short because we need much stronger protections. We need seniors to be able to stay in their housing and to be able to afford to have food and health care. Item 19 is related to consistent consequences for those who engage in unlawful sex acts with a minor. This is about deterring sexual exploitation of children. Obviously a good and noble cause. I think we should also look at ways that Hollywood and the movie and TV industry perpetuates the sexualization of children, the trafficking of children. They want to act very woke about these things now and pretend like they're protecting children, but the more we learn from former child actors, the more we understand that Hollywood is not a safe place for children. And so maybe we could consider banning child labor, and that would go pretty far in helping them.
General public comment?
Real hot girl shit. Pussy hoes on the horseshoe, nyum. Doing what about traffic, pum? When I say traffic, I don't mean Bugattis. I'm talking about the people forced to sell their bodies. This city's hosting the Olympics. Men from all around the world want to buy tricks. Casey Wasserman knows something about it. Flew on Epstein's jet, innocent? Yeah, I doubt it. It's nothing but a racket for the city. And this council is behind it, such a pity. Marquise Harris Dawson want to act like he don't know. It's in your jurisdiction when we speak on Figaro. Whoa. Figueroa, Roa, Roa, Roa. The longest street in the city's Figueroa, Roa, 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 Roa. Human trafficking up and down Figueroa, Roa, 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 Roa. It's in your jurisdiction when we speak on Figueroa, Roa, Roa, Roa. My sincere apologies to Megan Thee Stallion. I know that was terrible. Someone requested I do that. Shout out to Smoke and Scan, and go check out Revolutionary Blackout Network on YouTube.
The 19-time Grammy Award winner, Stacey Segar-Bollinger, everybody. 19 times. She can't even hold them all up. She can't even take the picture holding them all.
Good morning. Which items would you
Laser
like to
Lady,
speak
my
to?
girlfriend's
All
here.
I want to do is say on item 2.
1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Item 2, I stand with Herman that I don't want the proliferation of alcohol sales. I'm moving on now.
Herman.
That woman's boyfriend
Okay,
likes
so
Ron Johnson.
1 minute for general. She just did item 2. Sorry. Go ahead.
Many people like Ron Johnson. The title of his book is Transhuman Genocide. And when I saw that title, I knew that's for me. We're talking genocide. Nobody's talking about what's really happening. Renee Pittman Mitchell is a black lady, and she's very religious. I was going to bring her book, God is Good, okay? I didn't bring it because I want to bring her picture also. They are hiding her, and what they did is they killed her, okay? I told one council member, and he has the ability to look at her picture and say it's not her. I'm going to bring her picture next Tuesday, and to show you, she's about 47. She's a pretty lady.
But she's dead.
She's very religious, okay? Very.
Was.
And she even believes in that prosperity conscious, all the religious stuff. She also, anything that religious people,
Next speaker. I'd like to call up more people before the next person speaks.
3-inch shrimp coming up.
Francisco Aguirre, Maria Gonzalez, Maria Romero, MD Media, Renata Mason, Yasmin Quirino.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. If you allow me, I would like to try 15, 16, 19, general.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Start with item
Not
number 15.
one of them paying attention.
It's
Not
about
one.
the South Los
Not one.
Angeles Wildland Improvement Project. I am here to support this item because right here it specifically said appropriate $150,000 towards the recreation and parks fund. In South LA, we need better services at the park, because the South LA parks have become a criminal sites already, have become the wildland of gangbang already. And then right now, we are providing more fundings to the recreation and the parks, and then that's the reason why I'm here to support it, because enough is enough. I cannot go to the park playing basketball at the same time I have to get raped in order to go home. That has to stop right there. Now, let's move on to item number 16. It's about community programs in Council District 12. I am here to support these services because, like I mentioned last week, every single Los Angelenos, they deserve community prostitution services. And then we are not seeing enough services right there. So the people who do not have enough access to sexual intercourse, they have no service. When they reach out to the council member, when they reach out to the city attorney, when they reach out to the LAPD, how can they have more accessible sexual intercourse services? They always get it denied. They always get it rejected. So if we are trying to improve community services in Council District 12, I'm here to support the drug services, the heroin services, the marijuana services, and then the sexual prostitution services. Now, let's move on to item number 19.
Facts, right.
Number 19 is about the sex crime about the children. Like I mentioned many times already, I am always the advocate for Figueroa children. Okay, I believe that I want to give the children the freedom of choice. If they want to become a prostitute, they have a constitutional right to do so. And you cannot take that away from a children. If a children wants to, if their American dream is to become a Figueroa prostitute, a sex worker, and I believe it is their American dream to do so. And then city attorney, city council, mayor, whatever, you cannot take their American dream away. I am here to stand in solidarity with all of the Figueroa sex worker and the future sex worker of Figueroa. Now, let's move on to general.
Comment.
For the general, I will continue on my Figueroa item because even though our city attorney told me the Figueroa is not under the jurisdiction of the city council. Okay, you can continue to say that, but I will continue to talk about Figueroa. I believe right now I have a concern about the President Trump tariff. So Figueroa is $5 a head, and I don't want to see any tariff on Figueroa services. So if we have a 34% tariff, so $5 per head on Figueroa Street, that will become $7. That's unaffordable. That's unacceptable. So we need to make sure, maintain the low price of Figueroa services to make sure the Figueroa services is accessible for every single Angelino. And then regarding the tariff, and I want to consult our Figueroa president, Jason Jenkins, because he is the one who controls the Figueroa and he is the one who provides all Figueroa services for every single Angelino.
Jason even got a shout out. Let's go. I agree. Don't worry about the tariffs. They'll only be on like the Chinese hookers and everybody else that's coming
Which
in.
items would you like to speak
Not
to?
on everybody here.
Yeah, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Francisco Aguirre. I am a Los Angeles LAX employee for Cruise of California. Just wanted to speak about the Olympic wage. We needed to get agendized now. A living wage will help me save money, pay for personal medical debt, pay my car, be financially independent. It will be good for the economy.
Good for the economy?
Tell the city council
To give you a raise?
to schedule this now. That's all.
This will said it'd be good for the economy. Other than you getting that money and then paying the bills off that you've accrued, other than that, I don't see how it'd be great for the economy or good for the economy even. But that's just me.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Buenos días. ¿Sobre qué temas quiere comentar?
Así es un comentario público.
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hola, mi nombre es María Santos González y trabajo para Fly Food Group, preparando la comida para todos los vuelos en LAX.
So she makes the food
Hello,
at the
yes,
airport?
my name is Maria Santos Gonzalez. I work for Flight Food Group, preparing all the foods for flights in LAX.
Estamos aquí porque necesitamos el sueldo olímpico.
We are here because we need the Olympic wage.
Everybody want that Olympic money,
Yo
bruh.
hago $20.73 y pago $2,600 de renta.
I make $20.73 and I pay $2,600 for rent.
Y tengo que cuidar a un nieto de mi, y yo vivo sola.
And I live by myself and I have to take care of one grandchild.
$2,600 a month in a one-bedroom. Stop
And I
it.
cannot afford to retire.
Where you living in Brentwood?
Hemos esperado demasiado.
We have waited far too long.
Por favor, les pido que pongan esto en la agenda lo más pronto posible. Se los agradecemos.
And please, I ask that you agendize this as soon as possible. Please, we would be very grateful.
Es todo por hoy. Gracias.
That's all for today. Thank you.
Yeah, they're all getting in gear like the city's getting in gear. Hopefully get their Olympic wage, the money they're owed.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General comment, public comment?
So you have 1 minute for general public comment, and feel free to adjust the microphone as you see fit. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Romero. I work at LAX at Terminal 1 as a passenger coordinator. Been working there for 18 years. I'm a single parent for an 8-year-old now. She's 8. Also a caregiver, me and my brother. We take care of our parents, our mom and dad. I'm one of the biggest, the breadwinner. Things are really cost for us to take care of my dad and his needs. He's his bed rest after a stroke. We don't get any help financially. Me and my brother take care of all his needs. My mother too. She's still, she's doing good, thanks God. But she also needs clothes. Oh shoot. That was fast.
Sorry, I know it goes by quickly.
That's
so
what
for
I was saying,
everybody else,
Kimmy.
if you'd like to
For
provide
$2,600 for a one-bedroom, she said she had. She said one bedroom. That's a lot of money.
There is no word limit as far as I'm aware of that. So
I mean, the
I'm sorry, we have to
higher
move on
end
to the
one
next.
bedrooms are $3,000, like high end, like Beverly Hills kind of. You're living Beverly Hills adjacent. Really nice
Good morning.
neighborhood.
Which items would you like
nice
to speak
houses
to?
everywhere.
Good morning. General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Yasmin Quirino.
She said
I've been working at
$1,800,
LAX
$2,000, I
Airport
think,
for
okay.
18 years.
That
I'm
extra
a
600's
wheelchair
a lot.
attendant. I am here to share that we need the Olympic wage to be on the agenda as soon as possible. Because when we wait,
Herman just walked in.
one bill
There he is.
adds
Look at him.
more to my bills. Last
Oh,
week
and
I went
Spindler
to the
just walked in,
emergency
too.
room And I had to pay hundreds of dollars. Please agendize the Olympic
Dynamic
living
duo is
wage
here.
and vote yes. Everything is getting so expensive. It's hard to pay rent, medical bills, groceries, gasoline. We need the living wage to be increased. It's not affordable no more in LA.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you know who made that? Their buddies. And them.
Good morning.
They
I'd like to
made it
speak
that
on
way for
general
you.
Comments.
I'm
concerned
Made sure
about
the gas went through the roof, the rent went through the roof, the property taxes went through the roof.
It's a disgrace. to our
Insurance you can't even
If you guys
barely
would look
get.
into that, I'd
That's
appreciate
their
that.
buddies.
As well as
you voted
half of you
for it.
guys are up here not even paying attention to anybody that's speaking. There's a lot of people that are speaking up here that are important. Please pay attention to your speakers next time. Thank you.
Yeah, right. They didn't pay attention to that. None of them do. None of these communist slobs.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. I'm speaking to General
Why is it unaffordable? You notice how they never ask that?
Yes. So good morning. I'm Renata
They'll find
Mason
out.
with the U.S. Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. And today I am here to speak on a reminder for those that have been impacted by the Eaton and Palisades fires. I just wanted to let you all know that our application deadline, we have a grace period. So for those that have been impacted by the disaster, you can apply now until May the 30th. With that being said, as a reminder, all those that have been impacted can apply by visiting sba.gov/disaster. For homeowners and renters, the assistance is available for renters $100,000, for homeowners up to $500,000 for rebuilding and reconstruction of your home with an interest rate of 2.563%. For nonprofits that have been impacted, we have an interest rate of 3.6 up to $2 million, and for businesses, starting at 4% for $2 million as well. Again, the application deadline is May the 30th for physical damages and October 8th for any economic injury.
Again, 90 days in we are. 90 days after the fire, not one house has started rebuild. Not one. Not one. Not one. In 3 fucking
Yes,
months.
motherfucker, all items are non-general public comment.
Which name did you sign
Your
up
discretion
under?
is advised.
What do you mean, what name? All kinds of names.
Which name did you sign up under? Because you have to wait until your name is called before you can sign up or
Mr.
line up to speak.
Majada.
So please let me know which name you signed up
Yeah,
under,
I
or
told you.
you're going to be held out of order and disrupting this meeting. So which name did you sign up under? It does not have to be your actual name, but which name did you sign up under?
Marichoa. Come on. Come on. Marichoa. What?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Marichoa.
And Stafford, was that name called?
Can we repeat it one more time? Sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Herman, which name did you sign up under?
Mata Choi. You motherfuckers.
Yes, that name was called.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
God damn.
Go ahead.
Doesn't anyone listen?
No.
Do I repeat? Does anybody listen but Smoke and Scan? Shout out.
So your time is going. You need to stick to the items.
Oh, yeah. Item number 6. Fucking assessment, fucking little Tokyo fucking business improvement district. Why, Mr. Wardo? Why did you let that poor Asian man get killed by LAPD? Why? Then we go to item number 1. Dickhead. What name did you sign up under? All kinds of fucking names. Item number 1, CD3. Fuck CD3 on item number 1. Item number 2, application for public convenience and necessity. We're going to go to 4 a.m. on alcohol. 4 a.m. last call.
So, Mr. Herman, that is not on the agenda. That is not what item 2 is about.
I'm relating it to the situation about public convenience and
connect
alcohol.
it to item 2. You know the rules.
It's not a necessity. We don't need anyone driving incapacitated and killing people on the goddamn road like that little kid that got killed earlier this morning, ass zoo. Look at item number 3, noodle. CD10. Los Angeles fucking building and safety fucking report for confirmation for fucking liens. I keep telling you people, it's unconstitutional, 3-inch dick, Duarte. That's the reason why I don't walk in here with my dick anymore, because I'm afraid that you're going to hold me on those liens, Duarte, you little 3-inch dick. And for that reason, I believe my violations of rights have been altered by the prior restraints, Mr. Attorney.
So, not on the agenda. You're welcome to speak to that during general public comment if you'd like.
Page number 19. Item CD 915. Is it on the board? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what that fucking
Number
monkey told me.
15 is $150,000 in funding to support the South Los Angeles Wetlands Improvements Project.
Yeah, may I speak on it, please?
Go ahead.
All right. Fuck item 15 for the record. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. You laid it out for me. And Smoke and Scan, yes, that little zit on his face, he should
All
take
right,
it
you've
off.
been warned before. General public comment, you have 1 minute.
I think he's
Go
talking
ahead.
about the
Now
mole.
into my non-agenda public comment. Everyone in the world, look it up. Matthew Dow, D-O-W-D, and Zuma Dog said to you assholes of Los Angeles that Dean Pergerson says that my sensitive words may not be what protected speech, but they are. That's what the judge ruled. So when I say it politely, that's protected speech. If I grab my nuts, that's like Michael Jackson. Just beat, and beat it. And then I keep going on and on, but I'm not. KK Caruso and Stalin continue to have a conversation. So 42 U.S.C. 1983 politely. Fuck you, Grote. Fuck you, Jonathan. And fuck the...
Shout out to Mr. Herman. Thank you for the shout outs.
Next speaker, Mr. Spindler, as you're walking up, I'd ask.
Mr. Spindler's coming up. Your discretion is advised.
Please. Thank you.
Why don't you guess?
So again, which name did you sign up under? If you don't want to tell us, then I'm going to ask you
Why
to
don't
get
you
back
guess?
in line.
What? What do you mean?
This
You
is your
don't
last
know?
opportunity. Which name did you sign up under?
Transgender name, Shelly
Okay,
Miscavige.
you are now disrupting the meeting. This is your first and only warning. I'm going to ask you, which name did you sign up under? The
Shelly
instruction to the
Miscavige.
the instruction to the public is to wait until your name is called before you line up to speak. So,
Fucking love
which
Santa.
name did you sign up under? You've already been warned
Shelly
once, and we're good.
Miscavige. You're not listening. Get that
That
cut out of
name
your
was
ear.
called, yes.
Get your cotton out of your fucking ear.
You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Wasting my goddamn time. Now, number 3, nigga, we're looking at nigga Bob and his niggas over there in the building of safety for annual inspection costs with almost 4,000 Benjamins. How can Moni Cow allow her friend to go to prison over item number 1? How can you let this happen? That's how you can let it happen. And then we get CD number 5 and number 2. KKK Katie Yaroslavsky, the worst goddamn thing to happen to the Jewish community since Auschwitz banned smoking, all right? We say no to number 2. Look at this dumb city attorney. Item 99, I'm against. Item 77, I support. Item 194, I'm against. Item 97 with amendments, I support it thoroughly. Item 88, I'm in favor of Marchese. Item 104, I'm against it, Marchese.
So this is your first and only warning. Stick to the agenda, or I'm going to move you to general public comment.
Now we get number 3. That's on top of it. CD10, that little hustler over there, the unelected one, Heather Cunt Hunt. And we say no to South Virginia Road, where all the wealthy niggas live. Did you know that? All the wealthy niggas live in South Virginia Road. Let's get South Virginia Road a hand. That's right. It's still part of the ghetto, but it's the nice part. And then we get to number 4, CD15, that big, fat, ugly Irish buckethead doing South Pacific Gateway right-of-way. What you want, a right-of-way, fool? Nobody wants to go down there. I say, shut that goddamn road down. Don't anybody go to CD15. Don't anybody shop down there. And all you Chinese folks, don't ship your goods through the port of Los Angeles.
It's all right. Hold Mr. Spindler's time.
Yes,
Mr. Herman, do not disrupt this meeting. This is your first and only warning, or else you'll be subject to remove. Mr. Spindler. All right. Mr. President, Mr. Spindler has been warned. We paused his time, so this was not part of his general public comment, and he is eligible for removal if you'd like.
For what?
Go ahead. For disrupting my instructions to Mr. Herman.
Oh,
go ahead. Continue
I'm not
time.
Mr. Herman. So now we continue.
Look at Mr. Herman behind
We
him.
continue with our abated journey down this schedule. So let's see here, scumbag. Let's go here to number 15, the wetlands. I piss on the wetlands, especially if it involves Kern DeMille Price and CD9. No on the goddamn wetlands. In fact, I will challenge anybody to show me a single goddamn wetland that legitimately exists in that ghetto filth ball place known as CD9 that I know all too well. Shout out to 77th and
General
Fig.
public comment.
Now we get to our general comment. I have good news for all of you. The FBI and the IRS have now joined our new federal task force on fraud involving homeless service stealing.
Yep.
And Nithya Ramen Noodle is the top goddamn suspect. Let's give her
Noodle,
a hand.
noodle, 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 noodle,
It's
noodle.
going to involve fines and imprisonment, money laundering, stealing. All because you niggas won't tell us what you did with our money. Where did my money for my street lights go, Imelda?
Well, it went into the circle.
Where did my street lights go, Buckethead?
Well, it went into my nonprofit.
And who did you house? Look at Imelda's district in front of the 405. 39/10 by the freeway. She only moving niggas around from one plantation to another. 42 United States Code. Fuck you, fuck the city, and fuck the...
Your time's expired.
All right, that concludes public comment for this morning's meeting. Thank you to everybody who came and shared with us today. Mr. Clerk, what is before us at
Not a
this time?
single home
The council
permit
may now vote
finalized
on
in
items
Altadena.
1
Not one in
and
3 months.
3 through 6.
Since the
and
fires.
15
Not
through
one.
19.
All right, those items are now before us. Let's open the roll.
Per the
Close
lying
the roll.
media.
Tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Not
Would
one.
council like to take up the actually, Mr. Council
Sounds about
President,
right.
there is a request to take item 19 urgent forthwith, and that will require a vote.
It requires a vote. All right, let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
But I told you this. Go back when we were watching the fire. I told
13
you.
eyes.
All right,
It would
what's
be
next?
forever for these people to get back into
Would
their
council
homes.
like to take up items
If they
20
ever,
through
and they won't.
26, which were
They won't.
considered by the Budget and Finance
They've been
Committee?
held off far
Indeed,
enough.
we would.
They're just
Councilmember
going to lose
Yaroslavsky.
hope. You'll see.
We heard
Sell
closed
pennies
session
on the
items
dollar.
20 through 26 in BNF on April 1st, and I recommend approval of these items, Council President.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Budget Chair. Let's open the roll.
But I'll tell you what, Spindler wasn't lying. They actually are doing a federal audit of the city here now, almost kind of like what was happening in Dalton. So they've said, okay, well, you can't figure out where the money went. You have no receipts for the money, so we're going to have to do the audit. And so here we go. We'll see who squandered the money and where it went, which bullshit places it went to, that kind of shit. We'll see, but who knows? You know how it is. They'll end up catching them on everything, and then nobody will get in trouble. That's how it typically works.
Cow et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $350,000 in settlement. 24, in the case entitled Evangelina Flor Mata Alcantara versus the County of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $550,000
Audit LA is at the, what do you call it,
25,
Jonathan?
in the case entitled
She's
Stephanie
at the
Acosta versus the
police
City
commission
of Los
meeting.
Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend
She
up
may
to
still be in
$700,000 in
probation, double secret
26, in
probation
the case
for
entitled
getting thrown out
Francisco
here
Hernandez
last
Tello
week
versus the City of Los Angeles, there is a
for speaking
recommendation
her
to
mind.
expend up to $150,000 in settlement.
about her literally having the
All right,
mic in her
those
hand. They
items are now
gave her the
before us.
mic to
Let's open
speak
the
and then
roll,
didn't let her
close
speak.
the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 eyes.
The fucking commie.
All right, what's next?
All these motherfuckers are
Mr.
nothing but
President,
knee bud
would
bending
council like to
puppets.
take up item number 8 with Councilmember Price?
Every
for
last
TV?
one of them.
All right, we're taking up item number 8.
Motherfucking LARPers. But yeah, that's really how it is. Where's Antifa now? Antifa's right there in a blue suit. Antifa is anti-American. They don't give a fuck about fascists. They are fascists. Okay? They're anti-American is what they are. Just like these folks. Anti-American. Like I was telling you earlier, all these people, men and women that come in struggling, they never ask, well, why is it so expensive? Why is this happening? And they know it isn't just the rent. They may just say it's the rent and blame it on the landlord. But they don't say, well, man, it costs twice as much for me to drive my car to work. Or even more expensive for me to get a bus pass or a train pass. Because that went up too. And I know people will blame it on tariffs. We're talking about things that have happened for 3-4 years at least. They've been happening for a lot longer than that. Decades here, but it's just increased slowly. Yeah, people are struggling, but why are they struggling? Why is everything more expensive around them? Why is it that gas is more expensive here on the West Coast, and I'm talking Oregon, Washington, and California, than it is anywhere else in the nation, from Arizona, Nevada, and Idaho on to the east? We refine gas here. I don't know if you know that. Here in Southern California, we refine gas. In Torrance, Exxon, Mobil, they have a goddamn refinery down there. It's not like we have to have it trucked in from Texas. Then I'd say, okay, well, maybe that's, again, you have to go halfway across the country. I got to go 1,500 miles to deliver your gas. Okay, I'd understand that. But they're not. They're not. There's oil fields everywhere, off La Brea and Stalker. Go La Brea and Stalker in the middle of the city, and there's a ton of oil wells there, still pumping. Again, they never blame these people. All they do is come and beg to these people, and they vote for these people because these people might throw them a crumb or two. That's it, and pretend they care. It's all virtual signaling. We don't need to hear what Meg has to say. It's the same shit every day. She pretends to oppose the other fucking, I'm the one on the right. She pretends to oppose, and all of a sudden she's voting yes. Why? Because it's all the same. You don't vote for my shit, I'm not voting for your shit, so you might as well just vote yes for me so I can get your vote when I want it passed. And that's how it is. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's what they're doing. That's it. That's all they do. No different.
We have a decentralized response to homelessness that has, frankly, in my opinion, really created a greater problem for ourselves that now has elicited the interest of, federal investigation. And that's a really big problem. So
it is. When you go to jail, it's going to be great.
This additional information
Can't wait,
back
Meg.
about what the impacts
You and your
are gonna
friends.
be, although
Can't wait.
I
know one of you
frankly,
motherfuckers is crooked.
I can
for
tell
sure.
you what it's going to be.
One of you at least.
But what we really need to have is the conversation around centralizing these efforts in a singular way, not in a political office, but in a manner that we can actually audit and track the outcomes associated with the work. And for far too long, there has been an enablement of funding this failure.
Hey, Meg,
and it
you're
needs
fired.
to stop. So I look forward to this data coming back. There was an amendment 7A that I introduced on behalf of Mr. Lee that also provides greater insight over some of the resources that have been expended and administration costs associated with the work that we've been doing or affiliated with respect to homelessness. But the fundamental issue is if you care about this issue, you'd care about greater transparency to make sure that we are maximizing the money, the taxpayer dollars that have been provided.
Why wasn't it
for
that way
us
for the first place?
to
You had control of
help
our
more
billions.
people,
Why is
save
it
more
now
people.
a deal?
But
Because the feds are
LAHSA
here?
has continued to
Shut up, Meg.
show themselves to be a very big part of the problem. We have seen a commingling and conflation of funds
Shut up, Meg.
without answers to basic questions. So it's time that we really dig in to do the work that actually clearly is able to reflect to taxpayers
Shut up,
what are
Meg.
the outcomes associated with the work. But there is no more, for me, this has been an issue for years, but I came
Sure.
to this conclusion more than a year ago. And for me, there is no greater moment in time for us to quickly accelerate our separation from LAHSA. The county has already done it. We need to continue to
So after
tee
it
up
fails, then
our
you figure out
response
the problem. Got it.
in a manner that allows us to ensure that we don't have a break in outcomes. But there's clearly so much money invested in this
Shut up,
in
Meg.
so many different areas with so much duplication and redundancies, it needs to stop.
Shut up, Meg.
Because this apologist nature for this failure needs to stop.
Shut up, Meg.
And I hope that this is actually going to help drive the momentum for us to finally have a system in place that will show deliverables clear and consistently without all of these continued exposures for the funding of the failure that has continued to happen for
Again, reactive.
For years.
Not
Time's up.
proactive. Reactive. Shut up, Meg.
And I look forward to
Reactive,
the motion,
not
the
proactive.
report coming back on centralizing our work in this city, because smaller cities can do it. There's no excuse for us saying that we can't do it. We're the damn city of Los Angeles. We should be able to do this. Thank you.
Monaco, everybody.
Thank you. Colleagues,
Oh,
last
Blob,
week a few
sit
of us
down.
went to
He
the
wants to hear you.
supervisors to seek greater collaboration and express our concerns about the speed of what's happening. I share the frustration of the supervisors have had a lot of criticism of LAHSA over the last couple of years, and that hasn't changed. It's no secret to say that LAHSA has fallen short. We know that just by our efforts, and we know that by all of the audits and
Who hired
everything
him?
else.
Who gave him the money?
county's motion to pull funding and the resignation of LAHSA's leadership is not only shaking things up, but it's breaking a broken system. And, like I said to the supervisors when I was there,
No more
there's
$8
there's a saying
cigarette
when you go
give-outs?
to certain stores, if you
No
break
more
it,
positive
you buy it.
interactions?
And in many ways, this applies as the county basically breaks it. they're going to have to own up to their responsibilities when it comes to homelessness in a way that they haven't in the past.
Sit on it,
LAHSA
Potsy.
was created, as we all
Hello,
know,
Gary.
out of a lawsuit where this city and LAHSA
You'll
were,
never
were
find
at
it,
odds.
Oscar.
We were under the
It's
welfare
gone like a
code
fart in the
saying,
wind.
you need to do your job with homelessness.
Hopefully somebody
We
goes
need
to jail
provide
on
the
this
human
council.
services. We're not getting those services. And
Like a
one
few
way that
have
lawsuit
already.
was resolved was a settlement that created LAHSA. Well, now that we break LAHSA and they take their money back, we're back to that central question. Who does what? And I think it's important as we move forward that we not only, and this report not only tells us what, as Ms. Rodriguez pointed out, we need to act quickly because we're going to get left behind and figure out what it is that we need to do, how we create accountability.
Still
but we also
haven't
need to
figured
figure
it
out
out. Reactive.
what is our
not
role
proactive.
and what is their role, and make it real clear, because part of the problem in all this is the ambiguity that's
You guys
been out
are the
there,
problem.
when
You
it
three
comes to
stooges.
homeless services.
Okay?
And we're
You
spending
three
our
stooges
general
are the
fund
fucking
on
problem.
activities that the county spends their pass-through dollars and that fall in the lap of the county.
Not to mention the other stooges.
So,
it's really just the whole council.
You know,
but
we need to.
You were
we,
in the
we
shop.
don't want to just sit and wait and figure out what happens next because we know what's happening. The county is going to grab the best people that they can, is going to gut LAHSA and take the folks who are good at contracting, et cetera, and move them into the county bureaucracy. Hopefully not just creating another bureaucracy, but what's going to be remaining is basically all paid for by the city. And
why our
we need
taxes
to
went
change
up.
things in LAHSA of whatever is remaining that we need to have, like the COCs and things that are determining policy that the county has a much
They can't even
greater voice
find it,
than us.
Oscar.
Well, that
Forget
needs to
loaning
change
it. They
because
can't
we are
find
now,
it. They have no
the
receipts.
only one paying into
It's just
LAHSA.
gone.
And we need to figure out how we extricate ourselves as well. And that's what this report is going to do. So I support the report. I support the amendments to the report. The more and better.
Kind of like your
information we
money
can get,
stolen
the
from the
faster we can
Treasury
get it,
on the
because,
day before
if
9/11.
we don't do something soon, it
9/10.
will be
Well,
done
it's
to
probably
us
a
in
few
way
days
that we
before that when they actually took it.
Thank you.
But you found out the day
Councilmember
before
Hurtado.
9/11 where your money went, and you never found out
Thank you,
where it
Council
was
President.
after that.
While I support
ever.
the county's push for accountability and transparency in homelessness services, ensuring
What
a
do you think
seamless
they took the
transition
cue?
is vital, especially for folks in my district. As the council member representing Skid Row, the area with the highest density of unhoused people, I know full well that any delay in providing services to people experiencing homelessness is a matter of life or death. I look forward to receiving this report and support the amendments as well to have a better understanding of how the city will coordinate with the county absent LAHSA. Thank you, Council Members Vermont and Blumenfeld, for your leadership on
Yeah,
this.
trillion gone. And that was a trillion
Councilmember
gone
Park.
in 01. That was 24 years
Thank you,
ago. What's a
Council
trillion
President,
worth
and
now?
Thank you, Councilwoman
Twice that
Rodriguez
almost?
And Raman for your leadership.
At
and
least time and a
Councilmember
half.
Blumenfield as well. Colleagues, billions of dollars of taxpayer money have been wasted over the last several decades. We've gotten literally
Billions.
nowhere, doubling down on failure year after year. The county is now taking all of the Measure A funding. It's pulled its funding out of LAHSA and taken the human capital. LAHSA is now in a free-for-all,
Yeah, it was
and we
2.3
can probably
trillion.
expect HUD to be pulling out its funding of the city of Los Angeles as well. We are standing here literally holding the bag. But I'm viewing this as an historic
Sitting here.
opportunity to take back control of the spending and the accountability for how we are providing homeless services in the city of Los Angeles.
Now we're angry and we're.
I appreciate and support these motions and
We're
their
all about
amendments, and I would just like to offer the friendly additional amendment of getting these reports back in 30 days. Thank you, colleagues.
How much did the report cost?
Councilmember
us? 3
Rodriguez.
million?
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Park, for that amendment. But I just wanted to clarify something, Mr. Blumenfield. Even though the county is pulling back its resources, LAHSA isn't going to cease to exist. It will still exist. It's just not going to exist with all of the revenue that was provided by Measure H when they were flooded, and then we matched that those resources. So I wanted to just clarify that for anyone that thinks LAHSA is going to go away. I mean, that's just not going to happen. The other piece of it is, again, We are outreach rich and housing poor. We're clear what the roles are between the city and the county. There's no question about that. We're the housing providers. The county's supposed to be the service providers. However, we've had a dynamic with the cart being put before the horse multiple times over.
She loves to
and
talk
we just
and hear
have to
herself.
start, like,
Steve.
this is the tightening of the belts that should have happened years ago. But everyone was, you know, hemming and hawing about, well, no, we can't do this.
Including
we can
you.
do this.
Including you.
It's not impossible. It's not difficult. It will be difficult for a lot of the people that have historically received funding without having to account for it. But the reality is this failure can no longer be enabled. And, you know, it should have happened a long time ago. And, you know, sadly, and I've said this in many meetings before, our constituents, LA City taxpayers, have continued to pay 2 to 3 times for services that they don't even get once. And that has been the problem associated with all of these multiple layers from the state, from the federal to the county, all of the resources that have been poured in to see minimal impacts. Oh, and by the way, LAHSA prematurely, absent full data and accounting, declaring victory on another reduced homeless count with incomplete data. It's a joke. And so we need to stop, you know, we need to move quickly. And I look forward to, again, that report coming back so that we actually have a very thoughtful procedure going forward with greater accountability, outside of political office leading it, to centralize this work so that we can actually have meaningful results on the street. Thank you.
Councilmember Rahman.
The Stooges without all the talent.
Gosh, I did not expect that this item would generate
Noodle,
so much
noodle,
interest,
noodle,
but
noodle,
I'm
noodle.
delighted that everyone is so excited to get this report back about how we respond to the county's unilateral decision to remove Measure A funding, from many of which our city representatives and city residents supported and voted for out of LAHSA. I think that we are at a very important moment with this change. And I want to be very careful about how I describe this moment, because I think it is really important to be careful. This money, this work on addressing homelessness is still really important. It requires significant investment, and the level of investment is not likely to go down quickly over the next few years because of the scale of the crisis that previous leadership here in the city allowed to grow unchecked for so long.
It's their fault.
And so we have to make a big investment. And unlike many
Well, with
people who
somebody
are
else.
publicly commenting about the audit, I actually read every page of the audit. And the audit actually said 2 things. One was that there was no connections between the dollars that we're spending on homelessness and outcomes. What is the performance of those dollars? LAHSA wasn't monitoring that. That's why I'm so excited about the work that we've already been undertaking through performance management and oversight that I hope will be housed at LAHD going forward. This council approved that a few weeks ago, and I'm hoping that that work is enshrined there. But the work that we can do through that performance management and oversight function is actually connecting the dollars that we're spending to outcomes. How many people are moving off the street? How many of the units that we're building are filled? How are we ensuring that people who are getting indoors are staying indoors? And once we have that data, some of which we already have and are already making improvements to the system on the basis of, once we have that data, we can actually have a much better system in which every dollar is connected to improvements to the lives of people who are on our city streets. Ultimately, that is our focus and that is our goal, because that goal is really important for LA, and the voters over and over again have told us that that goal is really important. Second, the audit, while it didn't actually uncover evidence of fraud, it did uncover something really troubling, which is poor financial controls at LAHSA. So for example, LAHSA would make payments out to service providers, but didn't have processes in place to go out and ensure that those services were being provided in a field kind of visit kind of way. They didn't ensure that the number of case managers that were supposed to be at sites were there. They didn't ensure that the number of meals that were supposed to be provided at interim housing sites were being provided regularly. And without that kind of checking, there was not clarity on how the money was being spent. So I just want to say something to everybody around this body. This work, this moment, where the county has pulled Measure A funds out of LAHSA, and now we have to figure out how we spend our dollars, also offers us an opportunity to right these wrongs, to make sure that we have performance management and oversight, and to make sure that we have real financial controls that allow us to track the dollars to the services that are being provided. But I do want to say that that will require investment. Accounting, oversight, data, tracking, all of that costs money. And I hear far too often people who complain with one breath that LAHSA's administrative costs are way too high and we should be cutting them even though they're at 2% off our contracts, and with the other breath saying that they don't track their money enough. So if we're going to do this, we have to make the investment to get it right. And now we have an opportunity to do that, so I want to encourage every single person to support that work, to figure out how much it costs for effective management, and to really invest in it so that we can make the most of the investments that we're making across the system. So thank you, and I hope I will get your aye vote, and I'm fine with these amendments.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rahman and Bloomfield and all the members who spoke this morning.
Notice the urgency now.
He didn't speak this morning, and I keep looking over at him.
Who just
but,
gives billions
there's
out,
one of us
doesn't
who
care.
was here for the argument that caused LAHSA. And the argument that caused LAHSA is
every day they drive to work and see that nothing's happening, but yet you didn't. That didn't alarm you. When the feds come to town, that alarmed you.
Housing, and so now we're at a juncture where it's true that on paper LAHSA continues to exist, but I don't know how this city will sit on a board where we're giving money to it and the other side is not, and they have as many votes as we do. Like, no reasonable entity is going to agree to that for a long period of time. So as far as I'm concerned, LAHSA is effectively ended with the action of the county should they go through it. But I just want to circle back to just ground us in history about how we got to this point and what we want to do going forward, because this is not a new argument that we're having here in the city of LA and the tension between the county and the city. And I finally see Mr. McCosker's name on the queue to speak. Mr. McCosker.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to correct the record. I'm not that old. I was here shortly after LAHSA was formed. It was back in the late 80s when Tom Bradley picked up the phone and called City Attorney James K. Hahn and council members and said, we need to file litigation against the county because the Welfare and Institutions Code says the county shall is an important word, provide support for all is an important word, indigents and folks that essentially need a safety net. It's a much longer provision. But shall and all were the important provisions. And the county at that time was providing none of it. None of it. The city of Los Angeles was spending the amazing sum back then of I think it was $1 million a year to supplant what the county wasn't doing. City sues the county of Los Angeles and says, you shall do all. And the formation of LAHSA was a settlement of that litigation for a couple of reasons. One was they were disputing what that means, shall and all and indigent care, and where does homelessness fit in this. And so the solution was, let's form LAHSA, which is a joint powers authority. Any government can form a joint powers authority with another government as long as they share powers, and the power that they shared was the ability to provide services in their community. And my sense of it, being there shortly after it was formed, was that the city was in to make sure we were showing good faith, but we were voluntarily providing essentially a third to a quarter to eventually 40% of the county's obligation. The county got our voluntary contribution for 32 years. And by the way, when one party to a JPA says, we're going to pull our money out, it ceases to be an agreement. It would be like you writing the papers to buy a car, and you say, by the way, I'm not going to pay for the car, but I'll take it and drive off. It doesn't matter. They're entitled. Under a JPA, either party typically, is entitled to pull out. That's absolutely fine. 30 days notice, pull out. But then what? And I think it's critically, I think these amendments are great because these amendments say, what obligations are we going to meet? Hopefully the county will intend to meet the obligations as well.
Ignorance is bliss.
Contractual
That's it,
obligations.
Julio.
But this is essentially a wind down, which is fine. But when we wind down, I think we need to get back to the important provision. What does the same statutory provision that has not been amended mean? The county shall provide for all. And where are we in that milieu? We're not going to be in a position, I think, morally, where we say we're going to walk away from it. We're going to lean into it like we have for 32 years, but maybe lean into it with eyes wide open as to what are their obligations that they are avoiding and what are our obligations that we're going to take on voluntarily. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCosker.
Never
If
their
there's,
fault, ever.
No other comments, we will open the roll on this item.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that we captured Councilmember Park's amendment.
30 days.
With Councilmember Rodriguez seconding.
All right. I think that's accepted as a friendly amendment, so we don't need a separate vote on that, right?
That's correct. As
All
long
right.
as there are no objections, the council may take up the item as amended by 7A and B.
All right, we're taking up that item as amended. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred.
The desk is clear.
Announcements, members? Announcements? All right, seeing no announcements, I'll ask everyone in the chamber. Councilmember McCosker with an announcement.
Of course I have an announcement. I actually have a
Buckethead.
two-parter, but they're related. Today, members, we introduced a motion. Thank you, Councilmember Park, for signing on to this motion that is looking again at the Olympics. I think this is item 5 in our 28 for
We're
28.
counting that Olympic money
And we are
already.
looking at the last two budgets that the Olympic LA 28 is obligated to provide to us, the 24 budget and the 25 budget. We see a significant increase in the cost, and we also see a significant increase in the revenue. We are asking in this motion essentially to unpack that and find out what do those numbers mean. And we are taking the opportunity also to ask for an analysis of other revenue opportunities, other ways to protect the city of Los Angeles, which has the first $270 million overcost obligation. And we are also asking, how does the budget get affected by what LA 28 is doing tomorrow in Switzerland when they present the venue plan? It'll be 9:30 our time, and if you want to get a link, you can listen in. But at 9:30 tomorrow, LA 28 will be presenting in Switzerland to the IOC the venue plan, and we will find out whether they present a venue plan that matches what we did unanimously
9.5%,
a week and a half
loser.
ago. A week and a half ago, we unanimously approved their venue plan, which takes more events out of the city of Los Angeles, and we conditionally said, take those events out of Los Angeles, begrudgingly, but move sailing back in. That was a condition precedent to us, our approval. We will find out tomorrow
I'm
whether
sorry,
the
it's
IOC
9.75,
accurately
not 9.5,
or inaccurately,
9.75.
purposefully or accidentally presents
Just
the
went
plan
up
to
April
the
1st,
IOC.
a few days
And
ago.
I will be listening to see whether or
Last
not
week.
they have moved sailing from Long Beach to San Pedro. And if they do not present that, they are not presenting the approval of this governing body, the city of Los Angeles, and I'll be prepared to invoke
almost 10%,
motion number
Joe.
1 of 28 for 28, which asks what is the process that takes us to a dispute
9.75,
and how do we arbitrate
almost
or
10%.
litigate that issue.
It went
Thanks,
up
members.
just 8 days ago. It went up.
Councilmember Price.
We're
Mr. President,
paying
just
for
wants
the
to announce
homeless.
that the
We're
Economic
paying for
Development
all
and
of
Jobs
it.
Committee will have a
That's why I keep telling you, I'm their mom. I'm their dad. I'm the one. You are the one. We are the ones that are paying their bills. Whether it's these people, whether it's the homeless fucks who sit under the bridge and do nothing and accost people when they're walking by, waiting for their first and the 15th check. Whoever the fuck that is. If you're on the government dole, we're paying for you. I'm paying for you. And there it is. That's the end of the day. That's it. Council's adjourned. Well, I mean, we got some decent stuff in there, I guess. You know, it's a nice little shot of the bay in Frisco. Camera's a little glitchy today, but it's usually much more clear. But maybe it's windy. Does get windy there. So Maybe it's breezy. Council lies. Yeah. Just so funny how they are, like I said, super reactive. Again, virtue signal about how they care and what they're going to do, and this is what we should be doing. But they never were doing that when they were handing out the billions to these people. That's the funny part. Now they seem to care now that the feds are on their way. And hopefully, like I said, more than one of them get in trouble. Hopefully. But I'm under the impression we're still in that time where it really doesn't matter. These folks get caught, and they somehow, some way, they're able to get away. You know what I mean? They somehow, some way, never are charged. They find these laptops and other things, and nobody gets in trouble for any of it. Although if you or I did it, we'd be in trouble. They'd put us under the jail. Somehow, some way. Yeah, it's like I owe you one, Hodges. Like in Colors. All right, well, we caught your boy. All right, well, I owe you one. So when their boy gets caught, all right, man, you remember you owed us one. All right, man, we're even now. Nobody gets it but us. Our money just getting stolen every day. Our slave tax. It's not a channel, Fabio. It's just a cam. San Francisco cam. So San Francisco gone downhill. Hell yeah, it has. I mean, what most cities on the West Coast have. So yeah, Seattle any better? Is Portland any better? I mean, I get it that, San Francisco's way more expensive cost of living. In fact, I think it's the highest in the country. Next to Manhattan, I think San Francisco is still that. But that was also because of a lot of the tech companies, and some of them have left, right? So a lot has changed in the last 5 years when it comes to San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, small businesses have really been hurt because they have all these fucking homeless encampments they got to deal with, so nobody wants to come and do business or eat at their restaurant. And I get it. Now you have rats and rodents coming in where you weren't because of these people eating and leaving garbage everywhere. The city won't move them out, and then during the day they wake up and accost your fucking customers coming in, asking them for change, bothering them, just randomly throwing shit and screaming, pulling their dicks out or whatever, doing fucking drugs. You know what I mean? So how are you going to do business like that? You aren't. You're going to slowly wither away and die off. And that's what's happening to all the small business because they don't care about you. And in fact, like I said, I think their plan is to devalue and depopulate the state as much as possible, have their buddies come buy it all up, and then they have their own place. They have all the land in the most beautiful part of the country. Yep, get rid of y'all. I think that's the plan. I think it's the plan. I mean, why else would they have not one building permit in 3 fucking months in Altadena, where it's hardworking folks there in Altadena? We're not talking about really, really baller folks, and even those folks deserve their homes back. I don't care how much money you have. I'm just saying some people can hang on a little longer than others. These folks can't hang on anymore. Okay, they're hardworking people. They've been out 90 days. You give them $700 after making them jump through hoops, and now you won't even allow them the building permit. We all know how long it takes to build a house. That shit ain't 4 weeks. Okay? You're talking 2 years. And that's if everything smoothly flows. If you get held up because something was built wrong or whatever, oh boy, that's kicking you back. Takes forever to get the inspector back. Okay? They're holding off those people as long as they can, snuffing them out. They're going to buy all that land on the cheap. They're all their developer buddies. And I told you, I keep telling you, nothing will ever change unless Bane comes to town. And I know you guys keep thinking it's funny or whatever, and you laugh and giggle about it, but I'm dead serious. Until you have some mass crusader with his army come into town and take over everything and literally tell all of them, gather them up and say, hey, death or exile, you choose, and you got 30 seconds. Ain't nothing changing. Nothing is changing. We're too deep in the hole. It doesn't matter. There isn't one person that's just going to be able to change it all. Not here. It's not going to happen. Not in my state, not in this city. It just won't happen. Just won't happen, man. Just saying. And that's just really, But that's the whole point, blushing. Look, Vegas, everybody, Vegas. That's the whole point. For the intimidation factor. To call his bluff. And then when you call the bluff, you realize, wait a minute, he isn't lying about what he says. And it's all about no fear in that sense.
You don't fear death. You welcome it.
He welcomes it. That's the difference. You don't fear death. You welcome it. And I'm just saying, yeah, they're 15-minute city or whatever. That's it, Florida. It's the unfolding of the plan. That's what they did to those people. They burned them out of their homes. They'll all get nothing. And like it. Pennies on the dollar. Just move. And what's insane is some of these people that lost their shit can't even see what's going on. And they'll continue to vote for these idiots, keeping them in power. Seeing that they've done nothing for you. Nothing. Do you hear any of them crying about, man, guys, it's been 90 days. Why aren't we doing anything? But realistically, I can understand them saying that, not saying that, because that's their part of the fire was in the Palisades. That's LA City, which LA City Council. Altadena in Eaton, okay, that is the county of Los Angeles. It's not the city of Los Angeles. You're the city of Altadena in the county of LA. If that makes any sense to you. So that is another reason why. So you got to blame that on the county. But it's all the bullshit bureaucracy, all the garbage and red tape, all the backroom deals. And I really think that's just what they're up to. Whether it's LA City or county, I think they're doing the same to the rich folks there. They're going to make it an absolute, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. They're going to give them the hardest time. Okay? They're going to make them jump through a million fucking hoops before they do anything. Then you got the Coastal Commission and everybody else. And by that time, most of those folks are, like I said, they're already late 50s, 60s, maybe even the 70s. They're not trying to deal with that for 10 years of their life so they can finally move in. And when they're 80, they're not. They're just not. They're going to have to find somewhere else. And that's what these folks are hoping for, that they never come back ever again. Yeah, red tape for yeah, exactly. Spurg. I mean, I got to say, if their house is burned and when it came down to permits, they'd be the first in line to get that permit. In fact, they probably wouldn't even have to pull a permit. They'd just do it. You know what I mean? They'd just do it. They wouldn't even be the first. They would just do it. Yeah, pure land grab. I mean, dude, let's be honest. How deep are we now into Lahaina? 3 years? 3 years since Lahaina burned, I think? At least two. At least two since Lahaina has burned. And nothing has been rebuilt. Nothing. Some people have sold off. The others haven't done much, and they don't know. They're kind of in limbo. The same thing. Just makes no sense. No, it makes perfect sense, Max. It's their domination. The powers that be want certain areas for what they want them for. Especially the areas like Palisades. It's beautiful there, man. I mean, This, you essentially have a view like this every morning without a bridge. Just an ocean view, boats and beauty and sand, and it's nice. And the best part is if I go right down the hill, and I literally drive 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes, and I'm in downtown Los Angeles. I'm right there. So it's like I'm close enough for the escape and have this beauty to look at every day. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't have to go way far to enjoy it. So I just think that that's what they did in Hawaii, and that's what they're doing here. Their developer pals are just buying it all up. I mean, that's why everybody going crazy about the stock market. Why do I give a fuck? I don't have any stocks. Not to mention most people that have stocks are the super ultra billionaire, multi-millionaire people. The CEOs, those are the ones that own the stock market. They're the ones that are really getting hurt. They're getting, well, I mean, again, if I lose 20 million in a day and I have 400 million, is it really getting hurt? I mean, it doesn't feel good. And it washes out all the little ones who want to be those kinds of folks. So I think we're about to see some real change here. I really do. Yeah, the same thing happened in Lahaina. That's what I was saying, Mr. Classic. Same thing. Yeah, I've never been, FIFU. I've never been to Hawaii. Hi. You have stocks, they're doing fine. See, there you go. A lot of this, bullshit. Bullshit panic and all of, my father used to have stocks. He'd love the stock market. He's the kind of guy that he'd get up in the morning and watch it from the opening bell. But even him, it went up, it went down. It went up, it went down. It went up, it went down. Watching him for decades play that. It went up, it went down. It was never just a huge fucking climb or a huge drop. Neither. It was just peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. I know I need to go. I'd like to go to Hawaii. I would. But, yeah, I don't know. Sometime in my life, but not now. The Herman rewatch. Are you rewatching Herman? Herman's a character, man. Could only imagine having that dude in front of those folks, like unabated for, 5 full minutes, talking about whatever he wanted. Bro, it'd be awesome. Crashes every 8 to 10 years. And again, me, I don't do that, but I do sports cards, and I follow sports cards since 1985. I can tell you, same thing happens. They go from ultra popular, everybody's talking about them, Gary V and the Ben Baller, but you never see any of those guys talking about cards anymore. Everything goes in flies. They go to these influencers, they pump it up. Everybody that doesn't collect comes coming in and dumping their money. All this money's generated. They jump back out. Market drops. Then it comes back up again a few years later. So it's no different. It's no different, And again, I don't know really what affects a stock other than bad or product or bad service. And the same thing with like a sports card. A guy could be up here. All of a sudden, he gets a DUI. Starts to drop. He beats his wife. It goes down. That's why people like Pokemon cards, because they know Pikachu ain't going to get in trouble for assault with a deadly weapon. Pikachu's not going to get in trouble with the league for taking a picture with a gun. Okay? And that's the gamble of gambling with sports cards. If you buy them for monetary value to sell on later, if you buy them to invest in them in a sense, versus just buying to have them. The cards I have that I like, I buy them to have them. I don't give a shit about their value. Whatever they go for, they go for. Some I paid too much for and are worth less, and some I paid almost nothing for and are worth a whole lot now. So it works both ways. And I assume I equate stocks to the same thing. They go up and they go down. Some are kind of just there all the time. Little bump, small bump. Little bump, small bump. So it is what it is. Yeah, these people are goobers at LA City Council. They're Bradley. They just pat each other on the back, tell each other how they're delusional. They think they're doing a good job, or they're trying to keep up the facade of themselves doing a good job. But that's what I meant earlier about them going to work every day. It's like you can't miss the homeless encampments and all the garbage and graffiti and everything else. You can't miss it. On every freeway, every on-ramp, off-ramp, all of them. You know? Wander Franco, yes, that's a great example there, Sticky. Funny enough as it is, I did sell a card of his the other day. So some people are still investing a little. But that's a big thing. I mean, I know there's people that bought Wander Franco card that was over $100,000. That dude'd be lucky to get $1,000 back for that 100,000 invested. 99 grand gone. Shoo. And we don't even know what happened there. Like, he hasn't been convicted of anything. I know there's been accusations. I mean, the same thing happened with Trevor Bauer. Whole bunch of accusations. He ended up being exonerated for doing nothing, and then the league still blackballed him. You don't see Trevor Bauer in the league. Plays in Mexico, I'm pretty sure. Plays in the Mexican League now. But he doesn't... We're talking about the Cy Young Award winner, the CY Award winner. Cy Young Award winner goes to the best pitcher in baseball. Okay? He was that in the NL for the Reds. Came to the Dodgers. Then all of a sudden, 1 year with the Dodgers, that shit happens. Now he's gone. One of the best pitchers in baseball of his time, at that time. Maybe not that now. He's gone through a lot. Hasn't really pitched against, major league hitting. He's in Japan now? Okay. See, there you go. He's in Japan. And, it's just sad to see what one dumb bitch did and derailed his entire career. And again, he can go off and sue her, but, she's a lowlife. What does she have? She's busy looking for a bag. We're talking about a chick that would normally be working at Taco Bell. Okay? Low skills. That's why she is what she does. And she ruined that man's entire career. And what's even worse is Major League Baseball and the Dodgers didn't stick behind him at all. But somehow they did for Urias. He had already gotten in trouble with domestic violence. Then the second domestic violence charge was finally the dagger. Yeah, he got screwed like Pete Rose. He literally got blackballed. Scooble is a beast. I mean, everybody was flying high on the Tigers. I mean, they're one game above 500 or something like that. Oh, he should. Shiro, he should, because that's exactly what they did. They colluded against him to not pick him up. Well, look, let's be honest. I think that no team wants that PR. They don't want the bad publicity of, you got a sexual, or alleged sexual predator. And he wasn't that. He was claimed to be that, but he was never that. And because of the claims, he lost his career. It's really a sad thing, dude. You work really hard. Could you imagine working your whole life to become something, and then all of a sudden, some dumb bitch or some dumb dude claims something, and that was that? Changed your entire path of your career? Hopefully other athletes, I'm sure they don't, but take heed of that. That you got these hood rats out here, they just looking for the bag so they can be with you for a year or two for the publicity. Oh, I'm this and this. I'm his, girlfriend or wife or whatever. And then they take half. What a gig. What a low-life gig. You got to find it. I think it's on YouTube, Fabiola. You just got to put up San Francisco cams. This is where I want to go. Vegas. Uh-oh. Is it a chase? No. Brave 911 call. 9-year-old girl heard on audio. Calling police after man broke into her Westminster home. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. A 3-hour tour. I agree. He should be in the league. You know, it was for once we got a pitcher on the Dodgers that we spent a good amount of money for that was actually doing something, you know. Again, even, dude, it's a jinx. Even with Blake Snell now. We get him in here, 2 things in, he's already on the 15-day. Darren Dreiford, there's been so many big pitchers of their time the Dodgers have picked up through free agency, and they all just blow out. I mean, look at, what's his name? David Price. Bro, full won the World Series with the Red Sox, pretty sure. Comes over, bro, went straight to the bullpen. Went straight to the bullpen and then did nothing in the bullpen. Man, I want to tell you, when it comes to pitching through free agency, Dodgers have the worst luck. Because trust me, if I sat here and thought about it, I know there's a few more that I can pop up. That were big pitchers that came here and did nothing. I mean, obviously now we know that, JT, but, you know, one would figure he would have played a lot better having the run support and all that, but he wasn't. And I assure you, like I said, there's been plenty of Dodgers pitchers that have come through that have not lived up to expectation. I know I only named David Price and Darren Dreiford, but I know there's more. I know there's some that I'm missing. I guarantee it. I guarantee. Yep, we're live tonight, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. 8 o'clock tonight. 8 o'clock. Jeez Louise. I don't even know when I'm live anymore. I don't even know when I'm live no more. Are they still in the meeting? Wait, where are they? Hold on. Is Audit LA live right now? She is. Herman's there. Hold on. I don't know what she's doing. I mean, she's in the hall, but we already had that meeting. Look, what's his name's there? Is sitting back there. You see, look at him. His mask and everything. Oh, let me turn our audio on.
I open it up. It says LAPD Internal Affairs memos, and I go, what?
Oh, is there a meeting, an LAPD meeting?
And I start reading horror stories.
I love this dude's SWAT
of
outfit.
what goes on, where other agencies are telling their officers to run the hell away to save their lives because these people are so crazy.
Look, Spindler's there. The whole gang.
It's been about 4 months.
And here's the link to Audit LA's page, guys. If you haven't already, click like and subscribe on her page. It's there in the chat. Just linked it.
Clowncil, you know, there's parking underneath. That's where we used to park, in front of the secret door underneath. Take the private elevators up. Nobody would ever see us.
Are you a lawyer? Were you an officer or just activist?
I fuck judges and lawyers.
I fuck judges and lawyers.
Superior Court right now, Sergio II.
I know who this guy is.
He's had 2 weeks to respond to all this corruption, and he's going fucking down.
He said, I fuck judges and lawyers.
I got a letter from the Attorney General I can show you. You know what it fucking says? It's not my job to do what the Constitution says is his primary fucking job on his letterhead with a signature, and tells me to go back to the people who broke the law on me to solve
Look
the
at him back there
problem.
dying with his mask on.
We need this guy for his Scientology.
Look at him. Can't breathe.
Oh, I fucked those people up. In fact, I'll tell you an interesting one about that.
Can you please? We're anti-science. This is all anti-Scientology.
Well, get this. I know more about the beginning of Scientology than they do.
Can you guys hear him? Because they already love you.
Do you know who my
and they wanna
former
know who you
best
are.
friend was?
L. Ron Hubbard.
Richard Arthur. Guess who he was? He was L. Ron Hubbard's roommate in the Navy. Oh, you think I don't know about L. Ron Hubbard and the part that they don't know about?
This
which
guy's
is in
awesome.
The Navy?
I would love to know that.
I like how he did his tie this
Part of the
morning.
reason they killed my friend Richard to get their hands on that book. It disappeared.
So the book disappeared after he was mysteriously died under
I
mysterious
have the book
circumstances.
that he wrote on his life, ready to be published.
Yeah.
But they,
But you could do like a third party, what they said, you know? What he said, what he told you, third party.
I have
Look at,
so much on
look at
these
Mr.
books.
Herman, bro. Who ate all the pussy shirts.
What I know about national security, you have no idea. These guys see some of what I get in. Do I have the sources, Wayne?
They're going after our target. They're trying to take over. They're trying to say everything.
I'm gonna go around the back and get you both.
When it comes to
Dang,
China,
who's coming in?
I get the top guys. Russia, I have the top shit.
Got the ladies
I'm
coming in.
signed
looking
into all
good
kinds
in
of
they
national security shit.
suits. Spin
He
my-
sees it.
How do do you have a...
Fucking Santa's here.
I got a website. GoDaddy says it's the largest content website they host on the planet. Fraudbuster.org. Go watch LAPD erase the audio to a police commission meeting. Watch LA Unified hack my computer at a board meeting. Go see all the documents where the DA is illegally prosecuting misdemeanors. Do you know how many arrests
They're doing it to our protesters.
they have misdemeanors prosecuted by the DA?
Did you sign up for it?
Yes, they do. It's all misdemeanors.
Sorry about that.
And a hate crime. It's a
You know what Section
No.
271
Please.
One item.
Section 271 is the 2003 LA City Charter that states that any misdemeanor committed inside the city of
All I
LA
do is
can
lose on
only be
Bitcoin
prosecuted
OCB.
by the
That's why I
city
don't buy it.
attorney. Now,
Down like 300 bucks, probably more now.
271.
Since I bought that shit.
You got that down?
They put it all as felonies, stupid stuff.
You know all these people?
Yeah.
You get this shit to them. Their cases are dumped.
Okay.
I need them.
I'm down $435.56.
Well, I'm coming back. They're trying to take my life.
Only
so
down
I'm-
20%.
Until I die, I'm fucking these people.
Well, Scientology owns these. I mean, we can't get anywhere because Scientology has its clause in every single city council, police, all of it. We're proving it.
I know how this thing works. It's way beyond them. They're nothing. It's developers.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they run the
The
city,
money is stolen through bonds,
but they
okay?
own all the, how many properties do they own? They own this.
They don't own that much. They don't. No. Not when you look at, you know, it depends on how you look at things.
I guess for a church, it seems like
Is that the guy from Channel 5 sitting next to
Yeah,
Herman?
well, hey, I busted 3
That-
cults, man. You know, I tracked
David
the
Lazarus
cult that
or
tried
whatever
to
his
take
name
over
is?
Palomar.
Looks like
When
it.
I went down and looked up their properties in San Diego County, it was a full-page, single-spaced.
we need you.
It's a big
I do the
talker.
research with all these other
Hey,
ladies.
he's got the
fucks don't
suit.
do.
I'll help you research.
I don't see anybody.
I like the way he
know
tied his tie, though.
anything about shit that they come down to talk about.
The knots off, twisted.
Oh my God, we
They
need
don't
you.
read the attachments.
Right.
Okay? Where do you think the goods are when you go to any of these things? Do you know how I stopped the jail 7 years ago? I'm the guy who stopped that.
Really?
Because I read the attachment that showed the different plans and I worked out the cost per square foot and the square footage for prisoner, and it was insane. They were ready to pass it at Board of Supervisors until I spoke right after the stupid ass ACLU. Because these lazy fucks, here's what gets me. I'm on minimum Social Security. I don't have a crew. I don't have money.
I don't know
How
who
the
he is.
fuck do I know more than the rest of these fucks?
How do we get this? Like, if say if somebody like, how do we? Is there any way to get?
Audit was just interviewing him. I don't
My
know.
phone number's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, because like this person, he's looking at 10 years for stupid stuff like pulling down, like messing. First of all, they had.
I'll give them the law. I'll give them the whole fucking day. Here, we're gonna write it. We're gonna write it down on a piece of paper for you. So this.
We need help taking down this. And LAPD doesn't, you know, they're
What's Herman hiding in there?
victims.
You remember SEIU getting 30,000, getting $15 an hour?
Yeah.
I organized
want Herman's
that when they had
autograph.
them locked up in the funny farm. Do you dig how I fuck them around? And then when they had to let me out, because a friend went in front of the board of supervisors and said, "What the fuck are you doing with Bazzetti in there? He's helping all those people in there." That's at 10:30 in the morning. At 3:30 to 4 o'clock that afternoon, a new shrink comes and says, after I'm told by multiple judges multiple times, you're never going to see the outside of a mental hospital for the rest of your life, bitch, after they poisoned me with a court order. You dig how this works?
It's scary. I mean,
I organized SCIU while I was inside the funny farm. Then after they let me out, because I have the budget that showed where.
they're so scared of them here. They're scared of them. They can almost shut down the, right? Wouldn't they do it?
I've heard enough.
Because they want to get out there. Wasn't that scary?
Self-confirmed funny farm.
Yeah, they're downstairs. Yeah, that's right. See, I did it for the county. Now, what I didn't know and didn't expect
Oh, he's got the mic. I didn't even notice the little mic.
is that 20 states would pick this up right after it, okay? So the point is, when you have a really good idea, they fucking spread it. We're getting ready to hammer these fucks on the homeless shit and on the elderly.
Smoke.
And thank you on this, because all the inmates in the jail, see, when they threw me in the jail, they threw me in with 100 gangsters to be beat to death. You know what the fuck happened?
You beat them all up.
The 6 leaders stand up and say, well, the pigs are looking through the door waiting to watch. The 6 leaders stand up and say, George, come and sit with us. Now, I'm thinking, not saying, how the fuck do you know my name, right? You know what I found out? Do you know who watches all these meetings?
Smoke a scan.
The gangsters. I live where there's $2 to $3 million houses. They don't give a fuck.
I know, it's like smoking scans.
Now these gangsters, they know they. The gangsters are the ones that are watching, and they're the ones who know who's screwing and who's helping their hood. So when I get in there, I'm a protected bitch from hell as a white guy. At 67 and 72, the oldest motherfucker in the shithole. And then the inmates are going, why are the sheriffs afraid of you? And I said, well, I'm a former invited partner of the Sheriff Citizens Advisory Board. I worked with the undersheriffs in Baca, and we were the only ones who worked with Baca for 8 years on every bit of criminal justice legislation. So they're just a bunch of just punk bitches in the jail. I could destroy their lives. That's why they're afraid. Do you know how many arrests LAPD has done since 2003? 10,800,000. Do you know how many misdemeanors? 8 million. How many of those do you think they let the DA prosecute? You're telling me that every one of these new ones is prosecuted by the DA, committed inside the city of LA, right? Those cases are to be dropped. This is why Sergio, the head chief justice, didn't respond to me, and now we're going to fuck him. I got the AG.
Dude, he reminds me of the judge in that movie with John Candy and Chevy Chase and Digital Underground. What was that?
Shit asses.
And Demi Moore.
See, when I've taken down
what was that movie?
cults,
He's
when
the
I
judge.
when I knocked the guru off,
Nothing but trouble. Thank you.
I haven't found any other person in this
Thank you,
country
Blushing.
ever in its
Couldn't
history
think
that's
of it.
taken out a
Dude, he looks
goddamn
just
guru.
like him.
Anybody that's eliminated a major police department. I've done them both.
Which department?
Office of Public Safety used to protect this shithole. It came to us. The cops asked us to get rid of it.
You know, like that's like street
When the sheriffs had trouble at the BOS, we would get a call the night before. One time I go down, there's 100 people screaming and yelling at the sheriff. By the time I got speaking 80, those people stood up and clapped. The issue passed. Every time we go down, when the issue was in trouble, it would pass when Celeste and I spoke. And those people are trying to kill my ass right now. So what do you think I think about that?
You think LAPD killed Rodney King and his fool?
Rodney King was a fucking fool. Okay?
So you don't think
Bro.
I don't know.
Look
but
at
he
his
was a
face, okay?
fucking
Look at his
idiot.
face.
You know.
What happened?
Okay.
Oh, that's on
Stupid
her end.
dude.
Okay.
Now, I lived up by where that happened
Look at his face.
at that time.
Bro, tell me that's not him if you added the glasses.
Oh, I used to be all the time.
That's him.
I'm back because they're trying to kill me.
That's deep. That's like an intense.
That's him.
Do you think it's not? I
That's him.
I need a kidney removed right now. I have no doctors. They gave me a lung staph infection for 7 years untreated. Do you know what that means? I could die from the staph infection. They gave me low blood platelets and kidney failure on purpose. I know what they used to do it. I can't get the kidney operation until the lung thing is gone because of coughing, because of the low blood platelets. It's made me bleed to death internally. You like that?
It's just a never-ending story.
This is what they're doing. This is who these fucks are.
It just morphs into something else.
I'm one of the most known people in this fucking place. Why do you think they shit when I show up?
Why do you think they shit when I show up?
Herman's put my name in. What do they do when they call my name, Herman? They jump, don't they? Yeah, well, that's 5 years since I even been in this shithole.
Yeah, I miss Donald Harlan and fucking Mr. Sachs. I do, man. I miss him.
Bus was too late. So here you go. You get that to those people, those cases are done. I beg you to do it.
Fascinating.
I am sick. Look, if somebody committed a crime, here's what happened to me in the jail. I said if someone actually committed a crime, there needs to be a proper investigation. You need to have all of the evidence, right? They don't supply the evidence. They use an illegal prosecutor, all approved by this bitch judge I just gave a chance.
Yeah, it's a whole separate meeting they're at.
I have.
Hasn't
His
started
two
yet, I guess.
previous guys.
It's probably a police
breaking the
commission
law
meeting.
when I gave him public information request to answer.
Hang on, the mic went off. How do I turn it on?
Fuck it is.
It is?
Finished. Oh. They're finished. Because guess what's happening right now? What happened today? DOJ's in on homelessness. By the time I'm done, they're going to be in on elder abuse. They're going to be in on Section 271 now with the information you just gave me because I knew it. Because when I was in the jail, what happened? Remember I was telling you about that? Listen to the rest. The 6 leaders stand up and say, George, come and sit with us. And I go over and say, well, what's up, dude? So they start telling me about how they're getting jacked off on evidence and stuff. So I said, okay. Do you know what I did both times I was in that jail? I spent all my waking hours teaching inmates, hundreds of them, evidence law that spread through that entire jail. And when these inmates would come back, guess what would happen? Cases weren't dropped. How about dramatically changed?
Dramatically, I like that, dramatically.
How about I changed dramatically a murder? One case, it was a witness to 2 homicides, went to the grand jury. You know what the grand jury wrote me back? The cases were being agitated. They were killed. We don't want your testimony of this and never bring us another thing, asshole. That's to a former invited partner, the Sheriff's Citizens Advisory Board, when it was a real advisory board, unlike this piece of crap now. See, because in our Citizens Advisory Board, every person had 30 to 50 years dealing with people in the hood and in the jails. Who are these new guys? Entertainment industry lawyers. They don't know shit.
Right. But who's the judge? You mentioned judges. They're
Sergio Tapia II. He's the now presiding judge for the Superior Court for this year.
Any relation to Ramil
I gave
Tapia?
him 2 weeks.
Plays for the Rockies?
Today is 14 days.
What about, what's your views on the new DA? People are asking questions. She don't know shit. She's a
They're all bought and sold pieces of shit by contractors. Every one of these bitches is bought and sold by a contractor. I got the governor by the balls. I got the attorney general by the balls. I have every elected official in this county and city by the balls because I've gone to them in writing. I've been threatened by 2 Congress people. We're going to call Capitol Police on you. I said, go for it, stupid person. I'm going to sink your ass and destroy your career, Maxine Waters.
12 o'clock. We got
You
work
stupid
to do.
bitch. I know she's being investigated for corruption anyway.
What can I do with them picking me out? Like, I was there and
Tell them that you want the reason in writing.
And my new stove. And the cops
See,
eat their meal breaks.
that's called hearsay. Nothing. What did I have the pharmacy do yesterday when my medication was refused? Print it down, the refusal.
Never-ending story.
Give me a copy of that page.
Can't make these wages on
Not
union
this
dues.
shit.
Give us an increase. Buckethead.
Here.
Where's my new refrigerator and my new stove?
Why don't you guys take a look through what I got here? Oh, gee. What do we have here?
Holy fuck. Too much
Why?
time on your hands.
This is the whole aging and disabilities game.
That's 300 levels on Call of Duty.
More aging and disabilities breaking. Homeless shit. More aging and disabilities law breaking.
I want
Yeah.
my wolf stove.
What? Taking down what? Oh, Colts?
Bro, they're like, I'm telling you, they're like 2 7-year-olds that you can't
You're
sit
not gonna
together.
take down
You
Scientology.
sit them together at school, they just make too much noise. They disrupt the whole class. That's what this is. I love it. I love them.
That's a part of the plan that the 3 of us are putting together right now. And it has nothing to do with Scientology, see? Because that's a waste of time. You go for the overall corruption. And whoever falls into it in an investigation, because right now, I tried to get Merrick Garland in. They went, fuck you. The local DOJ went, fuck you. The Attorney General and Governor went, fuck you. But now, because of this homeless, the door is open. Once the door is opened and you present them information that's credible, they have a responsibility to look. And since Pam Bondi is now the AG,
Apparently it was supposed to
and
start at 12,
Democrats,
so any
we have
moment
an
now.
opportunity. Because Democrats are as dirty as Trump. Do you know why the Dems lost? Trump is a total piece of shit asshole, okay? But he was honest about it. He told us what he's going to do, and he did it.
Kind of like me.
These fucking Dems here tell you that they love you. They're actually worse than Trump. Because they're hugging you while they put the shiv into your heart between your blades.
The shiv. The
So you
shiv.
die with one beat of your heart, dude.
Jailhouse talk. Shit.
They had like 250.
So the game is to take to get them to concentrate on who is buying and selling you. And what happens is, when you've been around this shit as long as I've been in many investigations and legal shit, what happens in multiple defendant cases when an organization that has prosecutorial stuff and comes in under penalty of perjury and can put you away for perjury comes and starts asking questions to the lower level people? What the fuck happened?
They must be giving him like Adderall or something. Bro hasn't stopped talking since we seen him.
Or group that they were given, and they ask the same question. And they say, you either spill the shit or you're going to prison too.
Mommy!
Bip, 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 bip. Now these fucks are so stupid.
Look at back there.
They never learn from drug dealers. What I tell them is, you want to be a criminal? You're around a lot of them all the time. You run the jails. All you got to do is go talk to these people. What are you going to find out?
Mommy.
Don't do the goddamn crime.
Mommy.
If there's some bitch like me around. Okay.
What is this guy even talking about?
I knew Weezar before he ran for office. I was
Weezar's
out
in
the
jail.
valley when this all started. Where I was at Pacoima, I remember in that precinct,
Maybe not.
17 people voting. That included the people at the voting booth. Then, remember they had the big thing to get Hispanic voting? Do you know how many people voted the next damn thing?
Have you, Tony?
19 to 1,101 elections.
Got to remember, some of them are just puppets to that side.
That's when all Hispanics started getting
they have their
voted in
loyalty there. And the others actually
But
see
that's
what's
how
going on.
dramatically
And
that
it's
whole damn
insulting.
thing changed.
It's somebody pissing on your leg and telling you it's raining.
Think about it.
It's
Did
insulting.
you feel like a powerful voter when you wanted 17 people controlling the action in your area? But that's really shitty democracy, right?
Bro's had a whole conversation with himself.
You can't. In this environment, there ain't no predicting nothing.
And then they're all pipe-lock paper anyway.
Who are we going to get that isn't?
Right.
See, the game is not to destroy things like this Trump and their crazy
We're
attitude.
sellout Soto.
You know, when we took out Office of
Sellout
Public
Soto.
Safety, we didn't
Refrigerator
actually
stove.
destroy that department, except for the crooked guys on top.
Sellout Soto's in the house.
They all got
everybody.
transferred to LAPD, and LAPD
Gotta wear a
took over
tie,
this
fool.
function. And why did those officers choose LAPD when they could have gone sheriffs or LAPD? Because we did what they asked us to do. Because they told us that advancement in LAPD is much fairer than the sheriff's department. And when I talk to sheriffs, they tell me
Hearing them in stereo is great.
Baca was back because we were fixing
Like a
the
unison,
sheriff's
like a
department.
duet.
If people want to know if you're going to speak today, they want to see you in action.
Oh, and then, yeah, I'm going to speak.
Huh? You're going to speak?
Where are you going to get the fucking money? You're a billionaire in the hall.
Where's
Where are
the
you getting
$1
the
billion
money?
you stole to build LA?
No, he's saying not Juan Soto. It's
You operate right
what's
now.
his name?
Can't work on
Fuck,
a
I forget his
budget
first.
like that.
Hugo.
Union
Hugo.
Time I
people
go
need
up
to
to
be
speak
paid
for those fucks, they
$65 an hour, mommy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about one of the guys, one of the councilmen.
Smoke. Because if you're denied health care...
There he is right there. There he is right there. There he is right there in the gray suit. He just walked in when they're
Where's the
talking.
money, Hugo?
They can't be allowed to try to kill people. That's the bottom line.
I agree.
We can't allow this shit. We can't allow this corruption to continue.
All right, take the mic away from this guy. Enough stories. Give it to Herman or Spindler.
7 counts.
I know what to do.
Soon to be bouncing to jail cells.
I know what to do.
Yeah,
Do
his
you know
name's
how many
Hugo
pages
Soto
of budget
Martinez.
I read over the last few days? About 1,000. I'm one of the first people ever taught to speed read. Memory training. And the most important one, and you probably never heard of this, Have you ever heard of anybody trained to use their subconscious to solve problems? Yeah. Do you know about that one? No. I was taught that too.
I bet.
Now that's a skill.
Thank you for showing up late, Bryce. Now get the fucking
See,
show
you
going.
can implant problems into your head when you know how to do it.
We got unions. We got workers.
And your subconscious can work on all kinds of shit.
He does look sad.
Can't.
Sorry to hear
So
this
once
guy.
you're trained to do this, you just enter the question. And when it works it out, it goes, here's the answer, bitch.
Drill.
They do. That's the problem.
Drill. Work. Drill.
Excuse me.
There ain't going to be no building
Now what?
with a country broke.
Here.
Okay.
Because I want to get, in case we need to get this started. But it was great. I'm going to have them get in touch.
Yeah.
Too loud now.
Bryce, where's the money, Bryce?
Okay, it's still on. Well,
Buckethead, get the
right, I'm going to get up there.
Start the meeting.
I'm going to go up there in case.
Look at old awkward fucking
Who's on this? Who's on
awkward
this
Andy
one?
back there. That's what's his name?
Man, guys, it's hard to
What's
move.
his name again? I always forget his name.
Well, that's
The
the only
guy.
time. That's the only time they get to.
Who is that guy?
Once a meeting starts.
Andrew
they can't
Graebner.
finish.
That's what it is. Awkward Andrew, not Andy. Andrew. Well,
Can you guys
Andrew,
hear me, or should
Andy,
I
it's kinda the
take
same.
out the mic now?
Andrew Graebner. Awkward Andrew.
Mic guy. That's funny.
Andrew the
Yeah,
Amazing.
Doc is great. I don't know his name. They put it here.
There's Buckethead.
Okay, that's good with the mic. You can hear it. He is, right, Cece? I agree. Okay, good.
Yeah, guys, we're watching Audit
Let's see,
LA.
they-
I know you can't see. She doesn't have any watermark or anything on there.
Oh,
Here's
me
the
too, Amy.
page,
I mean, it's just,
link to
you
her
know,
page. Click like.
but he said he took
subscribe.
3 down, so it's fine. You know what I mean? We'll slowly get him on board. He probably is. I mean, he's just the man's at the going through some life stuff, and it's like, why he's here. I like that kind of. Can you put it here? Can somebody put his website in chat so I can? I'll post. I'll pin
She's
it.
an informant
I forget
for
what
who?
it is already.
Who's she informant for? Or to?
I don't remember. Something fraud. I'll ask him again. I was so intrigued by the conversation. I'll have to go back and listen, or I'll ask him again.
They're all starting to make their way in.
Smoking scan.
Yeah, they're all coming in, so it should be starting here any moment.
Oh yeah, fraudbusters.org, right? Fraudbusters.org. I think it's fraudbusters.org. Can anyone look it up and see if that's correct?
Yeah, we can't watch it any other way because they're not televising it on their channel. They just televise the city council pretty much. Everything else isn't televised. They may give you like a link to it to listen to it, but not see it.
What about fraud, but like singular or plural? Yep.
It's raining at the elbow room. It's raining at the elbow room. So is it a planning? It could be planning and land use management.
Can you say that? I was trying to pin your comment and I accidentally deleted it.
Economy and jobs
Put that up in
committee.
a shout out. I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to do that intentionally.
So let's do this.
It won't let me undo it. Sorry, Kirby. I was trying to pin it because I liked it.
to see if we can get the audio from that side, but and
Oh,
use
thank you,
her
Jeff, for 9. Smoke and Scan sent me all. Tell Smoke and Scan hi. Love Smoke and Scan here. That's probably it, Sue. It's probably Fraudbuster. Yeah, it's .org.
Committee in past days. I think
Just
what
thank
would
you,
be
Jeff, for
important
9.
for us to do is to
Carbies, did you get my message?
take
I'm
a
so
look
sorry.
at this
I was trying to pin it.
proposal.
Your shout out to Smoke and Scan.
Yeah, I can't find it over there.
Considered on signage, and also we need to take a look at what are the income projections as we move forward. This thing is built out.
Does it have? He says he's got like a lot of info on there.
Quality convention center.
Sorry.
We need to consider what we can charge for that, because right now today we're not getting maximum.
No, can you guys not hear her audio?
Can you pin it? I don't want to take a chance. I already screwed it up royally.
You guys can hear that, right? You can hear her, right?
Can you pin it? Okay, I have the phone number. I got his phone number, but he didn't put the website down. Awesome. Thank you, Sue. Can you pin that? Actually, can you pin that up? He did say the number's on the is on the website. Yep. It's got the devil's number in it. Yeah, he's fascinating dude.
Make sure that our income is maximized through legislation or negotiations between Sacramento on signage and on the assumption of what we going forward. You will have to put yourself in a position of bringing down the cost of finance. And I think it's important for us.
Okay, I'll let you pin that, and then we'll pin the website.
Come back with a proposal that we can approve. Because we're not going to get out of the convention. If we get out of the convention business, we might as well get out of downtown LA business. Get out of downtown LA business, we might as well get out of the business. It's going to be important for us to plan to use this. So, again, I appreciate you very much. I realize it's a very simplistic presentation. You guys have the hard work. I appreciate all the hard work that you're going to do and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Congressman.
Oh, wait a minute. So that was. Alright, so, I can get the audio, I think. Hold on.
I'm saying I don't see AZ here. I'm saying when AZ, but I'm not seeing here. Maybe not. Is AZ here? Hello, AZ.
Or do we not? Certainly is.
I'm not seeing AZ in here.
Basically, that's what it's come down to. Or do we walk away from a project like this, paralyzed by economic uncertainty and hesitation? I don't think we can walk away. I know it's going to be a different decision, but I hope we can have a robust discussion today before the item goes to the full council tomorrow. So, colleagues, I propose that we have two panels this afternoon. One will call up the Chief Tourism Officer and the President and CEO of the LA Tourism and Convention Center. And we will also hear from the CAO and CLA about this very important project. But before we hear their comments, I'll ask you to make any comments if you choose to do so. Any comments?
What's on your weapon, Jedi?
Oh, I understand the mayor's represented here as well. And let me invite you to come up and make some comments.
Might be off the audio a little bit because we're listening to their audio, but looking at Audit LA.
My name is Max Reyes, and I'm the Senior Director of Economic Policy for Mayor Karen Bass. The mayor reaffirms her strong support for the Convention Center expansion and modernization project. Moving this project forward is about the future of our city. LACC benefits every LA region, neighborhood, and household, not just downtown. That includes the thousands of Angelinos in every council district whose livelihood depends on these events. Hundreds of local small businesses, family-owned catering companies, restaurants, florists, designers, entertainers, print shops, and more, who are part of the supply chain for citywide conventions. The largest
County
convention in the
priest
nation,
arrested for
just
sexual
20
abuse of a minor
destinations, and LA is
archdiocese
among them
says.
due to our limited contiguous meeting space and the age of our facility.
Awesome.
At present, Los Angeles is
All right,
tied
let's
with
go
Kansas
back
City
here.
in 21st place
Okay.
among its competitive
Check
set.
that off.
The modernized
Go there.
and expanded convention center will drive an economic ripple effect that will help bring downtown back and welcome convention goers who will support local
Okay.
businesses by staying in hotels, dining out, and spending money across the city. It will create jobs, attract investment, and spur economic growth in our city, including stimulating new tax revenue. The project has been in the works for more than a decade, and this decision comes at an important juncture for the city's future. We must act now. The mayor supports proceeding with urgency. Moving this exciting modernization expansion forward will send a clear message from City Hall to the private sector that LA is open for business. On behalf of Mayor Bass, we hope that you can support the expeditious start of this project. Thank you for your time and for giving us the opportunity to address you today.
That's how delayed
Thank you.
it
Thank you
is.
for your comments.
It's like 15 seconds off.
Members, before we begin the panels, anyone care to make a comment?
Oh, I can't
wait to hear them panels. Bring
All right, then let's invite Don Liu, Chief Tourism Officer, and Adam Burke, President and CEO of LA Tourism. Come on, join us at the table.
No, we would need Herman and Spindler and all them to get up in there. Yeah, 10 years in the making. It takes them forever to do anything. They're
Welcome,
slow.
gentlemen.
They
You are
drag
city's
their
experts
feet.
in
Everything's
tourism and
over
convention
budget.
center
Nothing
business,
ever
and I wanted
gets
to give you
done.
a chance to briefly discuss this proposal.
That's why I call it a clowncil, because they're a bunch of clowns. It really,
Thank you,
it's
Councilor
really what it
Price,
is. This is a circus.
Members of the committee.
This
My
is
name
a circus
Joe
of
Liu. I'm the
waste.
Executive Director of the City Tourism Department.
Circus
No,
of
I'm
waste.
sorry, excuse me. In my haste and in my excitement to get this project started, I neglected to take public comment. How could I forget such a thing? And so before we hear your testimony, we're going to let the public speak and express their concerns about this project.
See how that
And
worked?
I apologize.
Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Mr.
Your
Clerk,
discretion
would you,
is advised.
Read those instructions one more time, please.
Yes, more public comment.
Members of the public who wish to speak can sign up in the kiosk in the back, and you will be given 1 minute to speak on the one item on today's agenda.
Dang, all they get is 1 minute.
All right, we've got some names in the queue.
Well, we know we got at least 3
Rob
regulars.
Knockoff,
4.
Carlo Coda, Tom Davis, Nella McCosker, Deborah Shrout,
Under over 2.
Aaron Taxi, Peter Marley.
Under over 2. It's going to be a tough one. He only has 1 minute. Look at how delayed their stream is.
Good afternoon, Chair Price and members of the committee. My name is Rob Notoff with the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor, and I'm here today to speak in strong support of the Convention Center expansion. As we all know, LA is a world-class city with a deep history of being innovated for leading the world. We're the land
You're
of
late,
Hollywood,
Tony.
where
I
we
already
teach
gave that
the
update.
world to dream big. We're a city of champions with the Lakers,
Just
Dodgers,
came here.
Rams, Kings, Bruins, and Trojans. And we're the home of world-class arts, music, and entertainment, yet when we look at the Convention Center, we're ranked number 21. The Convention Center is home to hundreds of permanent full-time union jobs that allow workers to keep a roof over their heads and put food on the table and raise a family like you see behind me. Workers at the Convention Center's trade shows earn upwards of 6 figures, and these jobs are open to local residents via union apprenticeship programs. And the construction jobs to build the expansion have a 50% local hire, meaning this will be built by LA residents. So please, let's finish the project agreement. As you can see, an investment in the Convention Center is an investment in workers, it's an investment in LA, and it's an investment in the future. Thank you.
So it's at least like about 15 seconds off.
Good afternoon. Nella McCosker with CCA, also in strong support of this project.
Oscar.
Given the magnitude of the budgetary challenges before council, we understand how
Maybe
difficult
we could try
this
with her
decision
audio.
is.
Let's see.
However difficult, it is the right decision to pursue.
It's kinda hollow.
It was right in 2019 when this project was before council. It was right after the pandemic when conventions and tourism
See the
came
difference?
surging back. It has been right in 2023 and 2024, and now in 2025, we have a decision before us. We can decide to say that it's not possible to pursue this project due to the budget, or not possible due to the fires, or not possible due to a signage issue that I understand is an outdated code between the state and federal, for which I would ask members to check the council file. We
Flattering
have
skirt.
the upper echelon of state leadership.
3 cows had to
committing
die for
sorting
that
through
thing.
That particular challenge. But really, what we're facing right now is the fact that
Oh, wait,
city
she's
leaders
probably
for
a
far
vegan.
too long have shied away
They're
from
fake
making
cows.
the kind of capital investment
3
necessary
artificial,
to bolster
3 full
against
cows.
economic downturns. It has not been your fault in the past, but it is now your responsibility to fix it and turn the tides.
Thank
so
you,
we ask
Speaker.
you to invest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Deborah Shroud. I live in the South Park neighborhood, and
South
I'm here
Park?
representing South Park Neighborhood Association, which is an all-volunteer resident group that supports the neighborhood. We want it to be active, dynamic, lively, and we know firsthand when a convention is in town, that happens. I overlook LA Live. I walk around the convention center 5 days a week. I see every convention that shows up. I know what they do for South Park neighborhood. And what they do for South Park is also benefiting downtown and the whole LA area. We want to be a world-class city. We can do that. All we need to do is invest in the future.
Ooh.
And it does
Viewer
take
discretion is
money
advised.
to make money. And this project does that.
Charlie
Thank
Brown.
you.
No, I ain't leaving. She said she was from South Park, so.
Yes, I want to speak on 1 minute, please. My understanding is the Convention Center Expansion Modernization Project in 2025 is not a part of our crisis on the $2 billion budget deficit we're in. So I really wish you idiots up there would pay attention and consider the motion of today, because look at Nazarian over there scratching his bald head, doesn't understand like my bald head, is that the city administration here, like these jackasses on either side of me, I'm sorry, Zabel, I didn't call you a jackass, but fucking faggots gotta understand is that I'm here representing millions and millions of Angelinos, that's you people here, because fucking union workers need money, and they need to be supported. I'm here to support motherfuckers to work, and we're gonna work our ass off to build LA, and fuck you, Mayor. It's our convention center, biatch. Thank you, sir.
He's crazy. We love him. He's kooky. He's kooky.
Proceed, sir. Thank you. My name is Carlos Coda. I'm
How do you
International
follow that?
Vice President and Department Director
Yes,
for
Carlos.
Convention and Trade Show for the IATSC, and I'm here to speak in strong support of this project.
What do you think?
This is clearly the #1 project for entertainment in Los Angeles, but it's a
As
top-tier
the top
project
spokesman
across
for
the
Knott's
country
Berry
for us
Farm.
right now. It's my primary
That's what I heard
focus.
anyway.
And not even a car accident on the freeway would keep me away from speaking in favor of this project.
The
So
head spokesman.
barely made it, but I'm here. This will bring thousands of jobs in construction, but it's the operations jobs that I'm here for. It'll add hundreds of jobs and career pathways for our members and our entry-level technicians coming out of career pathways through the community college system and Hollywood CPR that's much needed right now with the downturn in film and television. I'd like to encourage you as my last
Why has
comment
there
to
been a
take look
downturn?
at the Javits Center and the transformation there. I worked on that project.
Overtaxation?
And that side of Manhattan that's been completely neglected for years
Yes.
is completely
Yes.
transformed right now. because of their expansion.
Like it or
new
not, the
condos,
porn industry
restaurants,
brought
entertainment centers.
millions and millions of dollars, but you ran them out of town with your regulations.
All right.
Okay? So first you ran off the porn industry, then you ran off the regular Hollywood industry, movie-making industry.
Peter Marley. I am a proud member of ITSE Local Number 33. I am by trade a stagehand. I've worked under an IA contract in Los Angeles since November 15, 1978. I stand here as also an international representative from the IA. It's very important to me and the people that I represent
I agree,
that
Wilson.
we continue to improve this economic engine that is the convention center downtown.
Porn always leads
I'm also
leads
a
new
resident
tech.
of North Hollywood.
Well, I'm talking way before, like, you were even consuming porn online. People were still buying DVDs, probably even old VHS. They slowly clamped down, then they made the condom rule, where you had to use a condom.
Good afternoon,
Things like that. It's just regulating people's thing. If they want to do what they want to do and they're tested, what's the difference?
To voice strong support for a modernized convention
I don't get it.
center. I came here all the way from Hollywood because while this is certainly an investment in a convention center that
I think
is
he needs that
downtown
suit
LA,
pressed. What do you
it's
guys
not
think?
Just an
That jacket
investment
needs
in
to be
downtown
pressed.
LA. It's an investment in Los Angeles. It's an investment in our workforce. And it's an investment in businesses
What's up, Vince?
across our city. We know that when folks come here for a convention, they will enjoy downtown,
Thanks, it's
but they
knocked
won't
out.
stay in downtown. They will visit our many tourism attractions like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They'll explore our museums, and they will take our public transportation. With the Olympics and Paralympic Games coming up, we urge you to invest in this once-in-a-generation opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it, Hurdy. Pushing it out. I mean, we still have rodeos here, but it's not in the city of Los
Chairman
Angeles.
Price and members of the committee. My
Now,
name is Tom
outside
Davis.
the
I'm with
city, in the county, they allow it,
IATSE
I believe.
Council, and I'm here today to speak
You
in
go to
strong
Carson or
support
wherever.
for the convention center expansion. Councilmember Park, thank you for your leadership in moving the early works agreement last year. As it stands today, our convention center is ranked number 21 in the nation.
21.
It competes with the likes of Fresno. Now, do we have anything against Fresno? But our convention center should be
You'll
much
never
more
pull
than
them
that.
away from Vegas.
It is in desperate need of an upgrade, and it's our belief that the modernization will put LA back on the map, stimulate the additional investment in the city through new jobs, business, and tax revenues, and be done in a way that does not interfere with the LA 28 Games. This is a major priority for the ITSC and the International as a whole, because the convention center expansion will lead to additional job placement opportunities. and
Viewer
trade
discretion
shows,
is advised.
And these job placements will lead into real careers that those people coming in through our Pathways program so richly deserve. Thank you so much.
Viewer discretion is advised.
So let's see, case number BA 515782, the people of the state of California versus Curran DeMille Price Jr. Next court date, April the 25th, 2025 at 8:30. Charges. Count 1, having financial interest made. 2, perjury. 3, having financial interest made. 4, perjury, felony. 5, perjury, felony. 6, grand theft by embezzlement of public funds, a felony. 7, grand theft by embezzlement.
Speakers, please limit
8,
your
grand
comments
theft
to
by
the items
embezzlement.
that are open for discussion on the agenda.
Theft, grand theft by embezzlement. Sure, it's not on the goddamn agenda. There's not a conflict of interest. He's raising money for a defense fund, right? And you're going to have him vote on this project? Are you insane? Are you out of your fucking minds? Does the word conflict of interest ring a bell? So remember something, people. You get your money from where you get your money from when he starts snitching. Okay?
Talking about Grady.
I'll be calling more names.
Talking about Grady.
John Coley, Marty
Facing a
Goldberg,
few felony
Malachi
counts.
Simmons,
Bro's gonna
Dana
go-
Rebecca Woods,
He's convicted.
Bees, Kenneth Moe.
Bro's going to jail for a while. He's already old. The rest of his life's going to be in jail. all that is true. We'll see. April 25th. 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, guys.
Good afternoon,
12:34.
Council.
1, 2, 3,
My name is
4.
John Coley. I'm the president of District Council 36 of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades and a member of Local 831 Trade Show Installers. We have been producing events and expositions in the greater Los Angeles area since 1911. I am here to get my strong support behind this project. These are good paying jobs. I hesitate to call them jobs. They're careers. Our people land with us and they stay with us until they retire. Healthcare, a good retirement pension, and a good paying wage will come out of it. We've got several apprentices and some retirees here today. Take their word for it. This economic stimulus starts at the airport. It's your Uber drivers, your cab drivers, your hotel shuttles. It translates into the hotels, front of house staff, back of house staff, restaurants, the wait staff. All of our members are trained to be ambassadors for this city. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name's Marty Goldberg. I'm a resident and investor in South Park. I'm also the president of the South Park Neighborhood Association, a 501c4 organization representing almost 20,000 residents. We vehemently support the convention center expansion and believe it is critical for the economic health and development of DTLA. We also support Downtown Council's phased approach for development. Conventions are the backbone for economic growth. City Council moving forward will give confidence for private investors. We know AEG, Marriott, and other developers are willing to invest billions of dollars in more hotels to support international trade shows. Expansion would hopefully give confidence to a developer to buy and complete the development of ocean-wide towers. We need to give existing businesses hope as well as attract new businesses in our community. We really appreciate your support to help our community. Thank you.
Shout out to South Park.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
Hello, council and staff. My name is Kenneth Moat. I am a second-generation Local 831 trade show decorator, and I have been for 45 years. I retired in 2011 with my 30 years in the 831 union. I still work part-time as a working retiree, not because I have to, because I enjoy it and I enjoy the people I work with. It has been a great career, enabling me to support my family. I have been blessed to have never been unemployed in 45 years. My family has always had health care and I have a great pension. When I started in 1980, there was only Yorty Hall, and the convention center booked a larger show, and we had to put up a tent for North Hall. It was only supposed to be up for 6 months, but they never got rid of it because they always booked it. And so then when they did expand the convention center and built South Hall, that one we fill all the time and gets to the point where we have to use Kintia Hall, which is actually a parking lot. So it always generates money and it never goes away. It just keeps making money for us. Trade shows love to come to Los Angeles because they love our venue. They love what we have here, Hollywood. They just don't come here for the trade shows.
Next speaker, please.
They come here for the other things we do.
Thank you for your comments.
Get up out of here.
Hello, my name is Dana Rebecca Woods. I'm a costume designer. I'm a member of Local 892, United Scenic Artists 829, and Motion Picture Costumer 705. I've been a costume designer here primarily in Los Angeles for 30 years. And I just want to say that I support the expansion and I support the IATSE.
What's the point of this? Nothing, really. They have to do it because they have to let you talk.
Good afternoon. My
By
name is
law.
Malachi Simmons. I'm the vice president of IATSE Local
And it makes these
728.
people feel better, I guess?
We represent the craft of lighting. I stand in solidarity with the expansion of the convention center. Investment in now is an investment in the future, and an investment in workers. Thank you.
It shouldn't be, Joe. You can hear me, you should hear them. We're watching Audit LA's feed, but we're hearing the direct feed from there because their feed's a little better when it comes to the audios. And they're not showing this.
this motion.
They're just playing the audio of this meeting. For some reason, they
Calling more
don't
names.
telecast.
Corey Wooten, John Vane, Kayla Kidd, William Moat, Alan Holland, Estulio Toa, Mata Chow.
And Chris P. Bacon.
Good morning, Council President Harry Stolson. My name is Mata Choi, and then I'm here to talk about this convention center project. I believe that this project is overdue. Right now, Governor Newsom is giving Los Angeles current price $2 billion. President Donald Trump is giving Los Angeles $5 billion. And then the president of Chinese Communist Party is giving Los Angeles $10 billion. And I believe right now it is the perfect time to have this project. I am here to support this project. I stand in solidarity with all of the downtown Los Angeles constituents because then we want to make sure that every single people who live in Skid Row move in to this homeless housing convention project. So everybody in Skid Row have a better housing. And then I'm here to support Israel because they are giving Los Angeles $1 trillion for this project.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is William Moat. I'm a third-generation decorator apprentice in the local 831. This expansion to the convention center will pay dividends to the city and people like me for years in the future. Exhibitors love coming to Southern California, not just for work, but also for pleasure. Southern California trade shows installers are known to lead the industry, and we should have facilities that match that. The better our facilities are, the more businesses that will be enticed to join our area and will add more economic value to our region. I have personally been able to benefit from the expansions to this convention center from my grandfather and my father, who both were able to work and get extra work from those spaces that were available to them. As time moves forward, it only makes sense that upgrades and updates will have to be made to stay competitive. I hope in the future there's still a strong enough flow of business in LA that my kids will be able to benefit the same way that I have from the investments made into the city. Many other men and women like myself are ready to make the call and fill the call for all the work that will come to this new expansion. Thank you, everybody.
Breaking news. Soccer coach accused in teen murder is undocumented immigrant, DHS says. I mean, he's an illegal alien.
Hello, everyone. My name is Corey Wooten. I'm a journeyman electrician and have been a member of IBEW Local 11 for 10 years. I went through the apprenticeship program, which gave me the free education, as well as the opportunity to earn as I learn and be able to afford to live in LA, where the cost of living has more than doubled within the last decade. I grew up here in Los Angeles, and I've witnessed downtown transform into a whole LA Live experience, but now the convention center is outdated compared to the surrounding attractions. The convention center needs to be upgraded. Revamping the convention center will allow the ability for our city to continue to attract trade shows and conventions to Los Angeles. It will also grant the opportunity for local 11 electricians like myself to work and live where we grew up, where we can all attest to those who have been priced out of our very neighborhoods where we were raised in. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Vane, and I have served for about a decade as president of the Tourism and Convention Board. So I've probably more experience in this than perhaps Councilmember Price. Councilmember McCosker addressed almost every point that I wanted to make, so I'll just add two briefly rather than be redundant. One is that I'm hoping that you guys don't rely too much on the CLA's report because it's woefully inadequate in that it does not take into account the true economic impact of the convention center on the city. It's the only department that's profitable for the city of LA, and that shouldn't be a criteria, but it is. The other is I don't think people have really focused on the issue of inaction. What happens if we don't modernize? This will die on the vine. Projects will be canceled, people will lose jobs, and the impact on our budget will be profound. So because of the budget challenges we have, this is an investment we need to make, and it will pay off in spades. Thank you.
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security says a youth soccer coach who was charged with murdering a 13-year-old boy whose body was found by the side of the road in Oxnard is an undocumented immigrant. You mean illegal alien. Mario Eduardo Garcia was 43. Is scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday in downtown Los Angeles courtroom in connection with killing Oscar Omar Hernandez. He's scheduled to appear at 1:30 p.m. in downtown. That's right here, 1:30. They're a few blocks from the court building.
Anime Expo and many other productions. It is most importantly a bright and stable future for my fellow installers, other trades, our families, and the 700,000 plus households
10
in the
blocks
city of
or
Los
so.
Angeles. In addition to the 2 million tourists and visitors we welcome every year. Is it a fact? It is a fact that a new development at our Los Angeles Convention Center can help increase that number, bringing many more exhibitors and shows to our city, and creating more jobs. I have benefited immensely from being part of Local 831, granted a fair wage, building a pension for my retirement and the security of my kids' futures, having health coverage for all
Been
my
charged
family at
with
no cost
murder.
to the household. It has blessed me with the means to provide my
Somebody
family
say.
with a better life, and I am thankful. An investment in the convention center is an investment in workers like us. Thank you very much. Have
The
a
murder charge includes the special circumstance allegation of murder during the commission or attempted commission of a lewd act
Good afternoon.
with a child.
I'm Kayla Kidd. I'm the Assistant Business Representative for IATSE Local 871, and I'm here to voice support for the expansion of the convention center on behalf of myself.
Bro's
and
cooked
our
in
members.
jail.
Thank you.
I think he better hope he gets deported. When the other dudes in jail find that shit out, you killed him and you raped him. Oh boy, they gonna have
My
fun.
5-year apprenticeship and the president as a journeyman has given me stability, work ethics, and a sense of pride, not only to me, but to my family as an
There goes
individual
Audit.
and to my
Oh, there she
community.
went.
We've been coming to the LA Convention Center for years, at the top of years. My son, 5 years old, now 23. We have been attending the LA Car Show. That's our yearly tradition at the Convention Center. Moving forward, this project for the union
I
will
agree,
continue
Kimmy.
to provide
I
tradition
mean,
to my
you
family.
ask me, you should just throw him in a pot of fire and be done with it.
As a citizen, union member of a long
Well, it's too
tradition,
expensive
work ethics and
nowadays.
pride in what I do reflect
Kick
my
him in.
passion and drive to continue
done.
thrive in the electrical community. Thank you.
Thank you.
43 murdered a 13-year-old
Claudia
boy.
Oliveira, Nate Broughton, Casey Horton, Asali Bill, Suzanne
And you know another
Holly,
reason why you're not hearing him
Candido,
it's Latino on Latino
Kathleen
crime.
Rawson.
If it was a white dude who done it, oh boy, it'd be all over the news. But that doesn't help. Dang, girl!
I got a boner. All right.
She got them panties way up in that booty, though. Shit, yeah, girl, that's what I'm
Mr.
talking
Chair,
about.
on behalf of the
my
Downtown Neighborhood
God,
Council, I would
Becky,
like to
look
ask
at
for an
her
extended
butt.
3 minutes.
Johnny Sins? I don't remember that. Who's Johnny Sins?
I'm sorry, we can't extend the time. You've got 1 minute.
Okay, can you please restart my clock? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we're here today. I'm here. My name is Claudia Oliveira, President of the Downtown Neighborhood Council, speaking on a council file that was started in 2015. That was 10 years ago. The current challenges facing the convention center due to the age and the size of the facility have resulted in the loss of events and conventions, which reduce foot traffic and commercial activity in the surrounding communities. Despite the cost of the project expansion, the indirect benefits and boost to the economy
All of a sudden, it ain't a dude,
far
huh?
outweighs the cost
Turn away, don't
of
look.
getting this project going. The Neighborhood Council is in favor of a phased approach, and we do not wish to pause this. This will eliminate any chance that the small businesses in downtown have to thrive. So please consider in voting on a phased proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Better stop looking.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Suzanne Hawley. I'm President and CEO of the DTLA Alliance. And I don't think the question before you
Man,
today
now we go
is
to
if
that.
the convention center is important. It's if we
Went
can
from
afford
that
it.
to
And
that.
I think the answer is to ask ourselves, can we afford not to do it? And the question is no. This is one of the few investments that the city can make that will reap returns for decades to come. And this project is not going to get any cheaper or any easier to build down the line. What we need to move this forward is leadership, and we need our leaders to take a stand and commit to doing this project. And I am confident that if our leaders make that commitment, this project will get done. Thank you.
I read further in the story. He was arrested Wednesday in an unrelated case in which he was accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old boy from Palmdale. So apparently he's,
My name's Nate Broughton.
you know, at least a two-time offender,
709
allegedly.
out of Los Angeles. We're the sprinkler fitters. I'm just going to mimic everything they say. So instead of doing that, this is really important for a lot of people, for the city of Los Angeles. We need this kind of stuff. It's obviously going to create a lot of revenue. It's going to give a lot of people a bright future, kids, grandkids. We need projects like this. We need to pass this. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So he's facing 6 years in prison in that case, state prison in that case. And he's facing possible
Good afternoon. My name is Kathleen
life in
Rawson.
prison
I'm on the
or the
Tourism
death penalty
Commission. I am the president
here
and CEO
on
of
the
the
other
Hollywood
case
Partnership in
for the murder.
CD13 and a proud resident of Venice in CD11. And I just want to say a couple of things. As leaders, it's so crucial to help build LA's resilience. We've been through a lot. Councilwoman Park, your district has been through so much. Resilience
Bill, right here.
creates
You
a
banging?
basis that allows the city to thrive. An investment like the convention center, yeah, should it have been done 20 years ago? For sure it should have been done then, but it wasn't. And so now it's up to you to make the right choice, to do the right thing for this community. For LA to be 21st in the nation is ridiculous. It's really important that we take this opportunity, we take it now. Because while the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, the second best time is today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't see women wearing purses anymore. It's like they'll have a clutch or nothing. You know, they'll have like a
Good afternoon,
a wallet
everyone.
like a
My
dude
name
has
is
in their
Cassie
pocket.
Horton, and I'm a board member
Or
of
most
the
of it's on their
Downtown LA
phone. They can have their
Residents
credit card on their
Association,
phone
and
now.
I'm here on behalf of more than 2,000 residents that we represent to advocate for the convention center. Our neighborhood
I
needs
don't, John.
this. Renters need this. Folks who live downtown,
Didn't know they
call
made 'em.
downtown their home, need this investment. We have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. Folks have not come back to the office, and this is a path forward for our neighborhood. This means we have more resources, we have more economic growth, we have more jobs, we have more assets in our community. Businesses can thrive, and we're depending on you to help support downtown. There are 90,000 of us who
got a
really
first
are
here?
asking you to vote in support today. So
We got
thank
first
you
here.
for moving this forward. It's been far too long coming, and just know that residents and renters in downtown
You don't
need
have a
this
Merc?
and want this from you. So
Yeah, I
thank
don't
you
have
for
a
your
Merc.
support.
I do have a camera bag, you know, for
Sam
extra
Boyd,
batteries and cords and
Edgar
stuff.
Castaneda,
That goes across
Audit
your.
LA, Greg Reeves,
It goes across your.
Stacy Segura Bollinger,
Oh, Stacy.
Renee Ledesma, Justin Walters.
Goes across your chest, so you can easily grab shit instead of having to go down. It's nice. Not to mention, you can put the battery in your belly, and that won't be all the way down here, so the cord will be plenty.
Group of people here saying, that, you know, they're not asking for handouts, they're asking for work, you know, put them to work, and they want to go to work, so I support them. I also want to thank you, Mr. Price, because you were ready to forget public comment, and you forget that the public is the most important people here. We're the ones that vote you in. We're the ones that, and you're supposed to listen to what we want. You're supposed to listen to everything that people say here and then make up your mind. And that doesn't seem to happen often enough. And it seems like there's so much disdain for what we have to say. Like we saw the other day, and I thought today I wasn't going to be called up, so thank you for calling me up. But I do support this project, But I also support, I want you guys to cut out waste in other places because we do have a huge deficit, and we also need a fire department, that needs money. So cut the, where you can and put it to the good projects that's needed, like this.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Edgar Castañeda. I'm a representative for the Western States Regional Council of Carpenters and also a member of Carpenters Local 213, 21-year career union carpenter. Los Angeles has been built by the hard work of its workers, the resilience of its small businesses, and the strengths of its communities. The expansion of the LA Convention Center is not just a project, but an investment in all three pillars of our city. By approving the project, the LA Council will bring more good union jobs to our city in construction, hospitality, and trade shows. The expansion will also generate more businesses for local restaurants, hotels, and shops, supporting our communities and economy. Additionally, it will bring in more tax revenue that can be used to enhance important city services such as public safety and infrastructure. This project is the economic catalyst that the Los Angeles needs right now. I urge the LA City Council to act swiftly and decisively to invest in LA's future. Let's work together to ensure a brighter and more prosperous tomorrow for our city. Thank you.
No more tipping in LA. Good luck with that.
Good afternoon, honorable council members. My name is Rene Ledesma, and I serve as the business director for the Fashion District on the Downtown LA Neighborhood Council. I am also the proud co-founder of the City Market South Business Alliance and the vice president of operations at award-winning studio AGBO. I'm here today in full support of the Los Angeles Convention Center expansion. City Market South, like many other centers in the Fashion District, are home to thriving mix
people's
of
minds,
businesses,
yes.
restaurants,
In reality,
fashion,
no.
and entertainment companies, all of which depend on increased foot traffic and economic vitality to survive. Downtown LA hasn't fully recovered since the pandemic, and the expansion offers a once-in-a-generation opportunity to inject life, jobs, and safety back into our streets. As someone deeply invested in both policy and business advocacy, I see this project as an essential to our neighborhood's growth. Please vote yes, not just for a building, but for the future of small businesses, our workers, and our community.
And as a citizen and voter, you can see before the news tells you, hey, this amendment is passed.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Greg Reeves. I'm a third-generation resident of the city. My grandfather was a boy in blue.
Guys.
I am here in support of the IATSC and 3,000 members of my guild, lighting technicians. And when I was in the field for 25 years, I took great pride in shooting in the town that I grew up in.
Nine
I
killed.
spent
It was
time
not
with my
nine
father
killed.
at the
9 hurt.
trade shows, at the car show, at the convention
Nobody
center.
was
I
killed.
worked here in this building on the Rookie, this beautiful building that we're in today, but we're not here talking about City Hall, what it represents. What we are talking about is the LA Convention Center, what it represents
9
not
were
only to the
injured.
city,
Nobody
but also
was
to the world. This is an opportunity for the narrative not to
Thank
be
you
about
for
the
the
burnt out
bless you.
Altadena and the burnt out Palisades. It's about creating another iconic building that can be on camera and draw people in and give my
I got the
brothers
bird
and kin
flu?
here in the building
No,
trades
it's allergies.
work and put a brave face and a
That
beautiful
time of
face
the
on
year.
this town. Thank you.
Is that, and it's weird because it gets hot during the day, so I'll have the AC on, and then at night it's still
Good
cold.
afternoon, Council. My name
so
is
I'll
Justin
put the heat
Walters,
on, and I'm
and
back
a
and
member
forth,
of
hot
Union
and
Local
cold, hot
78,
and cold.
and I'm also
That
a
doesn't
resident
help.
of Sylmar. I'm here to stand in solidarity with my union brothers and sisters in support of the Convention Center expansion. Our 2,000 members, most of which are local residents, are relying on this project and others like it to be able to go to work every day and support their families. Thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, it's old news. 3 months old, Becky, and nobody's built their house yet. There's been some people in Malibu
Christian
that have
Castro,
cleared the lot,
Martin Weeks,
but no
Christopher
construction yet.
Youngstrom, Ron Siemens, Jose Robles,
Ron
Nick Griffin, Alex Calderon.
Ron Siemens? I don't know. I want to see if anybody claims that name. Alex, because we're watching her audio. Look, we can put her audio
Hello,
up.
my name
but
is
it's-
Christian Castro. Here representing over 180,000 members.
Hear the difference?
We are in support of the modernization of the LA Convention Center. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to say that I'm a lifelong Angelino. I've never traveled to Pittsburgh and United Hills. I just want to say that my name is Alex Calderon. I represent
We're watching her audio, which is ahead. I mean, her video, which is ahead of the audio. Their audio is delayed, but it's clear. She needs to have the mic on the podium, which they won't allow her to do. I know they wouldn't do it even if she asked
me.
nice.
Here, proud Angelinos. Nobody's going to do this job better. We'll do it right.
So the mic's too far back. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
So it sounds like, you're in a hallway or something, like it's echoey.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Ron Siemens Jr. I'm
it
a
is
national
Ron.
representative and coordinator with Teamsters Local
It is a
986.
real
I'm
name.
here today to speak in support of the proposed modernization of the LA Convention Center. This is an investment in thousands of good union jobs that provide real opportunity for working people in our city. I've seen firsthand what a good union job can do for someone. It brings stability, dignity, and the ability to support a family. These are the kinds of careers that lift people into the middle class and keep them there. With strong local hire commitments and access to union apprenticeships, this project will open doors for residents across Los Angeles. We urge the LA City Council to support the modernization of the LA Convention Center and invest in the future of LA's working families. Thank you.
Yeah, she went and got herself a nice little mic, and it works. But you got to be up on it with those mics. You know what I mean?
Franklin High School graduate.
There's nothing she can do.
IBW Local 11 since 1980. And I appreciate, I've worked in the catwalks of the...
I mean, maybe try to clip the mic up there one day, but I guarantee you LAPD will be like, what are you doing?
Seriously,
I mean?
need to be world-class. Thank you for that time.
But if they allowed that and consider her media... I mean,
Good
that's why
afternoon.
when you have a
I'm
press
Mark
conference,
Leach,
you see all the
president of
mics are
IATSC,
right
Local
there.
728,
Because they know if they have it anywhere
and a
else,
working
it's
member of
not
my
going to
craft.
sound right.
I'm here on behalf of the 3,000 members of my union to stand in solidarity for the LA Convention Center expansion and modernization project of 2025. This will provide good union middle-class jobs for Angelinos and help make this city great again. Thank you.
And for some reason, they won't televise it. They only televise the city council meetings.
Members, I'm Nick Griffin with the
Maybe they don't want to
DCLA
pay the
Alliance,
audio
and I'm here
visual
to urge
guys.
you to be champions for
They'll
the
just pay
future
the
of
audio
downtown
guy.
and all of Los Angeles by
Just the
voting
visual
yes
dudes
on the
lose
Los
out.
Angeles Convention Center expansion. Some say we can't afford to invest in our future right now. I say we can't afford not to, especially right now. Downtown hasn't recovered from the pandemic, and this project is key to our revitalization. DTLA's vitality is critical for the city, especially as we welcome the World Cup and the Olympics. More events means more people and jobs and small businesses, a sense of vitality and safety in the streets, and that will help downtown recover and thrive, and that is good for all of Los Angeles. This is not just a development project, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in the future of the people, jobs, safety, and community of downtown and Los Angeles, and we need to seize that opportunity. So I ask you to please vote yes for the Convention Center expansion. Thank
Top right corner, if you look, there is an audio guy right there. He's up there in that little stand.
Hello, my name is Jose Robles. I'm an iron worker at the local 433.
But there must be a camera switcher.
Lincoln High School.
So maybe he doesn't do
Worked
both.
at the Purple Line
Switch the
Extension,
camera
so
and
having
run
a
the audio.
job near where I live is good.
That's what I do. So there's no way one person could do it.
Okay, any other comments? Last one, sir.
That's exciting. Good afternoon. My name is Eddie Escoto Alvarez. I'm the council representative, second generation member of the LAOC Building Trades, and a proud grandson of a Unite Here waiter. So for us, this project is a family affair, as we've all worked through this. We stand before you to ask, with all our brothers and sisters behind me, to move this project forward to a full city council vote. Since this project is covered under the project labor agreement of the city of Los Angeles, 50% of the people who are going to be working on this project will be from the city of Los Angeles. Right now, as you know, the economy is down, and we need these jobs to continue. And projects like these is where we put new residents to work, new apprentices to work, who may need a second, third chance in life. They're women, veterans, and other folks in the community. So we urge you to move this project forward. And I want to take what Councilman McCosker said. Our city runs through downtown Los Angeles. If we do not have a vibrant downtown, we do not have a vibrant city economy or city of Los Angeles. So I urge you as a resident of District 14, move this project forward to get our economy going again. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for their comments. We had almost an hour of comment on this topic, and we appreciate the interest that has been expressed. We're going to have to leave this room in about an hour, so I want to make sure we have enough time for discussion of the topic. And so with that, Mr. Liu, Mr. Burke, why don't you come back up to the table?
So now they'll have their panel sit up there and they'll do their schmoozing.
I have an opening question for you.
They'll
Mr.
listen
Liu.
now. They'll listen now, but there's not many of them. There's not even enough for a quorum there.
Of the convention center.
I don't know.
Can you tell us a bit about how you see the expansion and modernization impacting the revenue that can be generated from the convention center?
Thank you for that question, Councilman. And I want to start by thanking you and the committee members for taking this very difficult
Not
decision.
a whole lot to do.
And in all seriousness,
I mean, cool little things, you know, like little
and I also want to
Tokyo's
thank the
fucking.
CAO and the
That's
CLA
fun.
for all their hard work. And
So is Alvaro Street. Alvaro
struggling
Street.
with all the
Jesus,
numbers
can't
and
say it
trying
with
to
my
figure out
face.
how we can
Alvaro
make this
Street.
work.
That's a great
Your
little
question
place.
about
Chinatown's
expansion
fun.
of the convention center
It's all
and how it
downtown.
affects
So, I mean, those are fun little things.
is a very
It was
important
never a
one.
super nice place. You're right.
It is critical for us to expand because we
LA
can
Live's nothing special.
double the size of the convention center and more than double the revenue that the convention center will generate. But more importantly, it makes certain that our hotels succeed, not only in downtown LA, but all
Got his
hotels
shoes
in the
up
city.
there.
Most people don't know this, but when there's a citywide convention
I love
in
it,
the
like
convention
right on her
center
back.
in downtown, the hotels in
Where's
CD
Herman
11,
and Spindler? They took
the
off?
hotels in the
They
valley,
bailed?
their rates go up a good 10 to 25% because of what's called compression and the dynamic pricing that hotels are able to charge. I hope that helps to answer your question, but I think maybe another way to address it is by talking about two things.
Yeah, it's hard to say with my
Number one,
face there, Cubby.
I know we're desperately
Some things are tough.
concerned about the budget and the city's finances. And I submit to you, as I have for
Like it was hard
many
for me to
months,
say court gesture.
that the convention center expansion
See?
is not
I'm
a
saying
budget
gesture.
problem.
Court
It's a budget solution.
jester. Court
Not expanding
jester.
the convention
Really
center
hard for me to say
will
that
reduce
fast.
our tax
Otherwise,
revenue.
I say court gesture.
Plain and
My
simple.
face just
and
won't
my
let me
friend
say
Adam
it.
will explain that a little bit
Thank
further.
you, Mac.
Expanding the convention center will increase tax
Carl's
revenue
Jr.
to the city.
Fuck you. I'm eating.
I hate to oversimplify it like that, but it's true. Expanding the convention center is a budget solution, not a budget problem. This is an infrastructure project. This is an infrastructure project that's very unusual. It's not like a bridge over the
Welcome
LA
to
River.
Carl's Jr.
It's not
Would you like to try
a
our
highway
extra
or a road
big-ass taco?
or
Now-
fire hydrants or fire stations, because this one generates revenue. The CAO is going to tell you it generates over $150 million a year. There isn't another infrastructure project that we're considering or have built in the last 50 years that generates money, that generates revenue, that
Money,
generates
money,
more
give
revenue
it to
than
me,
it costs to
money.
borrow to build it. That includes the People Mover at LAX, a very important project. We're not making a dime. We're not charging people to ride the People Mover. We're charging people a lot of money to use our convention center. And guess what? Once we are modernized, we can raise our rents. We haven't raised our rates at the convention center since 2006. 2006 was the last time we raised our rates. Because we can't. We can't because we can't compete with other convention centers. So modernizing not only allows us to raise our rents, but it also allows us to get rid of this discount that we have to give. We have to give as much as 100% discount on rent to attract conventions to come to the convention center, because that's what we have to do to compete with all of the other convention centers in the country.
Smoke.
When we're modernized, when we're over a million square feet, when we're over 750,000 square feet of contiguous space, we control the market. We can charge whatever we want, and we can get rid of that discount. So yes, revenue is very impacted by expansion and modernization.
Did you hear this just fool right here? Don't worry, man. Just
I'd like to
build it.
also pivot. So,
We'll
we've heard
control
from our
the
brothers and
market.
sisters in labor.
We can charge
We've heard
whatever
from the
we
downtown
want.
business and residential community about how it impacts their livelihood and their lives. I just want to talk about a convention, for example. We had, I'd say over 5 years ago, signed a letter of intent. This is just an example. With the International Association of Chiefs of Police. These are all the police chiefs of police departments, not only all over the United States, but all over the world. They have an annual
That's it. He's a scammer, tons.
5 or 6 years ago, they signed a letter of intent to come to the convention, to our convention
Maybe looking
center
to scam fools.
in 2027 and
Jack
2030.
it all.
They take the entire building. In fact, so much so that they needed the expansion to come to Los Angeles. They have over 10,000 attendees. They will book over 15,000 hotel rooms while they're here. They just canceled. They just canceled just a couple of months ago because we could not guarantee that we would have the expansion done in 2027, and we can't even guarantee that it'll happen in 2030. And convention centers book 5 to 10 years in advance. So they have to go out and try to find a new location for 27 and 2030. And they're struggling. That's just one example. That's a 3-day convention that brings thousands of visitors to our convention center, thousands of visitors from all over the world to our city, and spends millions of dollars over that 3-day weekend or week. So anyway, I'll leave you with those two examples, or those 2 points that I wanted to make. Number one about the budget, and number two about the impact.
Okay, great. We'll come back to you. Mr. Burke, want to get your thoughts and insight on some of the larger economic impacts of this project. In other words, job creation, regional growth, et cetera. How does it play into our regional strategy?
Thank you, Council Member, and to the whole committee. First, to lend some context to it, I think you know that Los Angeles Tourism is actually a nonprofit organization, and as the city's official tourism promotion organization, our only interest is what's in the best interest of our community. So my comments are really guided by that lens and also over 30 years of experience in the industry. To lend some context to some of the earlier comments that were made, I think it's impossible to overstate the importance of professional conventions and trade shows to our community. I would describe it as one of the largest unseen drivers of our local economy. In 2019, which was really the high water mark for tourism and conventions in Los Angeles, conventions and trade shows directly supported 49,000 jobs, brought 2.5 million visitors to LA, and generated over $8 billion in sales for our local business community. And while I've heard certainly the focus on downtown, which I agree is critically important, I think it's also important to stress that citywide conventions impact every single neighborhood in Los Angeles. There are thousands of engineers in every single council district who depend on these citywide events for their livelihoods. Beyond that, think about the supply chain for our citywide conventions. The backbone of that is really small business. Think about the family-owned catering company, the event planner, the decorator, the florist. There are so many, even entertainment companies. There are small businesses in every single council district who absolutely depend on this business. Thankfully, one of the questions that I've gotten as we've discussed this over the last year or so has been, has convention center demand returned? The good news is nationally, convention center demand is back and actually has eclipsed 2019. Unfortunately, as you've heard, we can't compete with other tier 1 destinations because of the size and age of our center. Let me explain why that matters. When you hear people talking about competing against Kansas City, against Fresno, I think certainly that hurts our civic pride, but there's also an economic consequence to that. When we're selling against a tier 1 destination like a Chicago, a New York, a San Francisco, the cost to deliver that show for the event planner is comparable. But when we're forced to compete with a Fresno or a Kansas City, the cost to that planner is dramatically lower, which makes LA even less competitive, even against a second-tier destination. Beyond that, I think when we talk about the numbers, it's important to recognize that
Vegas has to be number one. Whoa, what's going on?
theoretical.
Vegas has to be number one
Literally booking
destination.
the center for over 40 years. And we work with highly reputable, internationally recognized research firms. Oxford Economics actually came from Oxford University. They are one of the most respected global econometric firms. We gave them our literal 40 years of booking history on the center. We also were able to give them those citywide planners who have said, the second we are able to put a shovel in the ground, they want to come to LA, but they cannot and will not commit until we do. So we were also able to have them model the impact of future business. Like any pro forma, that's the critical piece. Are you going to be able to drive revenue? What we show is in the first 5 years alone, using the phased approach that's being presented today, that we would see 5 million incremental attendees, visitors to Los Angeles, more than $3.7 billion in additional local business sales, over 11,000 new jobs, and $158 million in new general fund contributions.
Well, that's impressive. Members?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Price, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I'll keep my questions brief because I know we're running a little bit short on time. Look, I appreciate all the arguments and for it, and just for it, which I think many of us agree here. But at the end of the day, this comes down to how much it's going to cost and how much money it's going to bring in and hit to the general fund. I think that everyone's thinking about that. And thank you, Mr. Liu, for, we had a private meeting. It was incredibly illuminating and helped me craft a lot of the questions and guidance on this issue. But when you say that you're saying that it can more than double, how are you reaching that conclusion that by making this expansion, we'll bring in double the revenues?
Well, I guess I'll let the CEO make their presentation, but my understanding is that a combination of the increase in rents, increase in food and beverage, increase in parking, and very importantly, the increase in signage revenue, we are able to more than double the current revenue we're getting at the convention center.
Okay, so when you're saying that, it's because you're basing it on the report, that you're basing that statement on the report that was presented by CAO and CLA?
A report that we had some input in, yes.
Okay. How much input did you have in projecting the revenues from parking, renting, TOT, all the things that you mentioned that bring in revenue to the city?
Oh, quite extensive. We met with their consultants, and we met with the CAO and their consultants on a number of times, and we have ongoing conversations with the CAO.
Okay. So when in the presentation, the numbers that are going to be given to us, you feel confident that those are good projections for the city?
I actually think they're conservative, and I think we can do better.
Okay, and how can we figure out if they're conservative or not?
Well, I think the investment community and the bond issuers are going to want, assurance and stability, and so I totally agree with the CAO when they present most likely case scenarios. But as I mentioned, I think we can do a little better on revenues by getting rid of the discounts altogether and by raising our rates, which we haven't done since 2006.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you have some degree of confidence with the revenue that's being put in the report, but if you had more time and analysis, there is a possibility that the revenues could be projected higher.
Well, I think they did present them as the best case, a better case scenario, and so I don't know that we need more time to come up with higher revenues. I think the CAO in their report does present a optimistic case scenario that includes those higher revenues.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, council member, There's also something, and I agree with Mr. Liu, that it wouldn't have been appropriate to include this in the analysis, but we work extensively with the hotel development community, and we know that we do need more hotel supply in Los Angeles, which, as you know, is a significant contributor to the general fund, more than $300 million this year. There are literally over a dozen projects we know of that are pending the decision regarding the center expansion, because they know with the world-class center and the additional contiguous space, we will be able to fill that additional inventory, and that will drive additional general fund contributions as well. But those projects simply will not move forward unless and until the center expansion moves forward.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions this time? Yes.
Thank you so much. I guess I just want to pin down the point. Thanks for meeting us last minute for the first time with your department about this issue yesterday and getting a briefing on it. I guess I just want to clarify. So was your department consulted about the report, or you consulted with the CAO and the CLA about the numbers in the report? And do you feel confident about the numbers that are projected in revenues? Just want to clarify.
That has blue blockers too.
The answer to your question is yes, we've been consulted. I did not see the final results until this morning, but we do feel very confident in the analysis that was put together by the CAO.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for your comments. We're going to ask the CLA and CAO to come up. Thank you for your testimony.
I think I'm going to pull the ripcord here, guys.
I'm sorry.
Because all it is panel talk, no more public comment, and that's where all the fire's at. But I will do this. I will leave you with Audit LA's page. It's right there. Check it out. Just put it in the chat, that link right there, so you can go and follow her. And I'm guessing she's staying. I don't know. Maybe she's leaving this moment now. I don't know. It looks like she's bailing too. Yeah, so it looks like she's out of here too. But anyways, go click like and subscribe on her page. Yeah. I'll see you guys tonight. Yeah, 8 o'clock. Set your phone alarm now. Thank you guys for all the likes, the love, the donos. Thank you for the thumbs ups. They work, and they are free. Shout out to Stinks for showing up finally. And so on behalf of old Stink Bomb and myself, we're out of here for now. Go hang out with Audit LA. I'll see you guys tonight.
This party is officially over.
Yeah, you guys. I'm a gang.